Welcome everyone to Clash Royale League Asia Season 2. My name is Joe Sophie. Joining with me is going to be G-Clef for today. We're back for another weekend of Clash Royale League action, and we're back with just another wonderful conference division match that will be held between Japan versus Southeast Asia. Excited for this one.
Yeah, the final week before we go back to the regional divisions. We'll be back with 2 more weekends before we go into the playoffs. So this will be the final where the regions clash against each other. Korea already has done an extra week last week, so they're off to a break this time.
Conference division is almost coming to a close, and with that conclusion, Korea is not looking so hot right now, but we can expect them to collect some wins. It's impossible for them to lose all the games now because they have to face up against each other.
Yes. That's basically the last few weeks of play. That's about it. But everything else will be fine. And Japan and Southeast Asia, the strongest 2 regions right now within the 3 regions, are clashing. And this will actually matter a lot in terms of their own regional standing. So we better watch out to the result of this weekend.
And talking about the conference division, we do have some type of fixture that needs to be readjusted. We got it happen that just a little bit in the past weeks or so. So you want to kind of elaborate on that, J-Cliff?
Oh yeah, we had some rematches on the King of the Hill, which was not supposed to happen, and so there has been a rematch of the entire series between Ponos and GameWith. That was from week 1, day 3. That happened in Japan, I believe, and one more between OG and Ponos. That was week 3, day number 1. There has been rematches of the games that they have tied, which was not supposed to have a rematch of games. So they actually had a rematch of the entire series, which actually ended up becoming the same result. GameWith winning the GameWith versus Ponos. Ponos actually defeating OGN, so it's actually the same results, but it was a 2-0, 2-0. So the difference in set score, the game score, so that will be updated in the stats and updated in the website as well. So everything's now fixed. Clash Royale League does want to apologize to the viewers and everyone else involved in it because they had to have a rematch. They had some miscommunications, understandings in the rulebook, but everything's solved out now. Yeah,
the only difference that it really made was the set score, as you do say. It was a 2-1 for both of the games, and now ended up to be 2-0 for GameWith winning out against Ponos, and Ponos winning out against OG and Entis. So
that's right.
All the detailed information are in the website, where crl-asia.com/en/schedule. So be sure to go to that if you want to infer on this difference of things that happened in the last week. So it's been a games of long time ago that had now just made the adjustment. Finally, we're glad the adjustment had come. So we can get to more and more games now, knowing that these issues probably will not prevail any longer. Let's look at the standings here. Korea, like we said, they're not looking so hot. And even the top team doesn't have a winning record. 5-6 for Kingzone and 2-9 for the bottom team of the most bottom with OG and Entis.
Yeah, only the bottom teams of Japan and Southeast Asia has more losses than wins, so that's not a good news for the entire region as a whole, but they will at least have 1 seed going straight to that playoff because the first place of Korea will be moving on. Seems like we're going to have some gaps for that region, but look at that, Japan, Ponos having 7-2, the highest in the entire league right now, pretty high up.
We do look at Japan and Southeast Asia. The only difference that we see is that Japan, there is a clear winner, which is going to be Bren Esports with a really outlandish record of 7-2, with 6-3 for FOV, and GameWith kind of be holding 5-4. So we do see a little bit of a hierarchical order within that region, with Detonation having the only losing record, as you do mention. But Southeast Asia, 3 teams with 6 wins and 3 losses, kind of show you that it's very, very closely matched with the top teams in this region.
This week it's going to matter a lot, and when they go back to their own regional division, they're going to have a few more matches. So any wins from right now moving on to going into week 10, they can take the first place. Anyone's possible.
And of course, today's matchup will be in Southeast Asia in their own studio, being brought to you by them. And Bren Esports going up against FOV Gaming for the first matchup, with Chaos Theory, Detonation Gaming for match 2, and Kicks Games is going to be going up against GameWith for match number 3. So we do have teams from Japan who really want to make a research into this lineup, saying that GameWith, while they were a 3rd place team right now, they want to get as close to 1st as they can, because that is going to be the only way you make playoffs, to become one of the top teams in your region to do so.
Yeah, no Ponos and no HQ tonight. The both first places, that will be the beginning of tomorrow's match. So that's going to be a very exciting one. First place of each region going against each other. But tonight we're going to see a lot of the meta shift, because it seems like we're not really settled 100% with the new patch. And we see a lot of those battle rams, just bridge spams and lots of P.E.K.K.A.s. and actually banning of P.E.K.K.A.s and using golems. So it has been a lot of deck choices And when it comes down to a lot of deck choices, you got to be able to use them all, right, Joe?
Exactly, and still a lot of Royal Giants in play, and with the
Mhm.
bar putts now kind of getting a little bit of
Yeah,
recognition.
with the Magic Archer.
I do
that
say,
has
you
been
know,
a
I've
thing.
seen that deck before, and you know, lots has changed since that 1 week of play, and now we're gonna go into 3 matches of Southeast Asia versus Japan. Expect some good quality because you are looking at 2 of the top regions right now in Zero Asia. And it's sad for me to say that because I thought that Korea was once a top region in
Once.
Zero Asia, and that was a long time ago. And
Once
season
and
one,
only once.
there you go. It never has returned to them quite yet. And Season 2, it's been all about these 2 regions, Southeast Asia, Japan. So much so that we don't know which region is the better one so far because we are looking at a team like Bren Esports with 6-3 record, no Inside Jai and Menong GP, along with the last player. I do think it was gonna be Trainer Ken maybe. But I do say that, you know, this team, looking at them right now, it looks like a fantastic team. It really shouldn't be looked down upon by the Japanese.
Their 2v2 is really, really strong, and that's how they start with the match. And even Banong GP just continues to roll throughout their 1v1, having a lot of 2-0s at the beginning as well. We move on to 5 game in Japan. Rad and Yakitori, the pair for the team as well, and they have Danny, also Kenzumeshi, very strong 1v1 player as well. So these 2 teams, I actually have no idea who's going to win tonight.
It really is. The fact that you can sub out Ken Sumeshi and put Donnie in and have all the confidence that you're still going to win out that one, it shows you a lot of resilience from the Japanese side, saying that, you know, we don't really need Ken Sumeshi to get the wins every time. We can put Donnie in and get just the same results. So we'll see if their confidence pays off.
Yeah, Donnie's still good as well. But this weekend is going to tell a lot because 2 of the stronger regions, when they go against each other, what happens, it will tell a lot for the playoff because it's happening soon.
Yeah.
It's in November, so it might be in a new patch, but we got to settle down into meta. And look at that, Tornadoes banned, and
Giant Skeleton just banning out the Southeast Asian meta with the Giant Skeleton Elite, the Royal Giant. I keep saying elite all the time because he looks so elite right now with the recent changes, but it's going to be the Royal Giant basically being soft banned here with the ban of the Giant Skeleton from Rad and Yakitori. It just means that the Menong GP and Donnie from that 1v1 is going to be banning at the Mortar and also the Tornado to begin things off. So let's focus on the 2v2 for now. Tornado, Giant Skeleton, how do you see this one?
well, it's very strong, especially from Southeast Asia. I think it might just be banned all day today, or all weekend, especially from Japanese teams. Because Southeast Asia, they have been just having a Giant Skeleton plus the Royal Giant that has been the duo, even with the big change with that Royal Giant, just continuous uses of it, and you end up winning it because it's so good. That pair just cannot be destroyed.
Yeah, I mean, it's been very, very strong before the change even happened, but that was a 6.5 tower Royal Giant, but we're back to a 5.0 tower where it's a lot harder to get to the tower in time, but
still much stronger. 60%?
it is much stronger. 60%, it is where it's where you put the
60%, Joel, 60%.
The quantity has decreased in terms of how many shots you can get off to the tower, but the quality of the shots have definitely increased, and that goes to show you that, you know, even with the changes that have occurred and seemingly a lot of people saying that Royal Giant has a harder time getting to the tower, it seems still very convincing enough that Japan has to ban things out.
Yeah, it can break through the tower and get to the real Princess Tower. That's the real problem behind it. That's why we see a lot of these bans. Either we oftentimes see Giant Skeletons because without it, the Royal Giant can't really do too much.
Yeah.
And the Giant Skeleton actually does pushing and a lot of defense. When it comes down to 2v2, you spam a lot of units, but all deleted by that one bomb. And that's the reason why we have this ban.
The single biggest death damage in the game is going to be the Giant Skeleton, and we are looking around in Yakitori. The ones to ban out the Giant Skeleton has things in mind, and these 2 players coming in from Japan, and from FOF Gaming coming in as a second place team. Surprisingly, we thought that this team was kind of in the mediocre range in Season 1, but coming to Season 2, say they are better than GameWith and really have proven with the records.
Hope that continues into this weekend as they start the first match. But with that ban, I'm pretty sure they have some prepared strategies against that Royal Giant, and we've seen some Korean teams using the same deck exactly to counter them, but never was really better than Southeast Asia ever.
Yeah, it was very important to kind of notice that the Southeast Asians have really taken advantage of the Royal Giant that has been so prevalent in this meta, and we'll see the first time that Southeast Asian players will get to play the Royal Giant, of course without the Giant Skeleton this time. We will see if they have really decided to use it. As we're starting off the first game here, Bren Esports on the bottom side with Noam Sai and Jai going up against Rad and Yakitori from 5 Gaming on top.
And reminder, of course, no tornado means we're going to see a lot of Royal Hogs. And we better have the bomb towers when we to be ready for it.
You're going to see the bats. And
lots of bats.
Always going to see 3 layers of bats. 2 from the side on the defense from Rad and Yakitori. But just going to cycle out this Mega Minion and going to see a Valkyrie right behind the King's Tower. So we'll see how this turns into play.
All the reason on the back means that they were looking for some other cards in their hand. There's a bomb tower, expecting the Royal Hogs, but not for now. Even good for against the Golem now.
Yeah, the Valkyrie is just going to stop the Dark Prince in charge. It's going to be allowing the bomb tower to get the job done, and this Infernal Dragon is untouched for now. We're going to see a Lava Hound and a Balloon, and Ray just literally going for this all-out attack here.
And even the push from the Giant Snowball, it's going to get the Tombstone, and it will connect to the tower.
Oh, good Giant Snowball. Yeah, that Giant Snowball really allowed that Mega Minion to get that one more hit where it was crucial, disallowing the Balloon to get to the tower. We're going to see a pretty aggressive rush on the other end now. Noah Inside and Giant going pretty strong.
This is usually what Rad and Yakitori do when the Giant Skeleton is banned out, when Tornado's banned out. They bring out the Lava Balloon combo, but it seems like it was almost expected from Noam's side and Jai to actually respond against it. Yeah, great defense.
When Valkyrie does well against the Miner and just goes in naked and gonna have no support, and we're gonna finally see the Mega Minion be that support to kill out this Dark Prince. And we're gonna see something against the Golem now. The Valkyrie is now gone. We still have the bomb tower for the side of Rad and Yakitori. Just bringing out the Lava Hound a bit early this time with the Infernal Dragon right behind it.
Do want to have your own pair and try to have a counter push at the same time. And with the Balloon, a lot of elixirs already dropped, so there's a Rage. And Balloon going straight to the Tombstone, but the Golem is going a little faster. There's a freeze spell!
Look at that freeze, but it's not going to hold last enough, and that bad will just go down. So we'll probably allow the Balloon to have a better luck next time, but in the meantime, 1559 on the side of Rad and Yakitori's tower kind of shows us that Golem push is sticking and working out.
Certainly doing a little bit more as they split it with the bomb tower to the left and right all the time. That's going to help a lot, but within that type, they're doing a little less damage. There's a poison now, so this Golem push is really gigantic.
Yeah, this Valkyrie once again stopping the Dark Prince so the bomb tower can get as much effective use as it can. So just trying to allow this Golem to get the explosion right to the tower is going to be the advantage that Rad and Yakitori are probably not going to be favoring here. So this E-Wiz once again stopping the Infernal Dragon pretty nicely here. The Valkyrie will be stopped in its tracks, and we'll see more of a heavy push on both sides now.
There's a Rage once again. Tombstone just ready in time. They have the E-Wizard. That's going to be the biggest problem. So the Balloon will get a very low chance of getting into the tower. But the Golem actually will do a lot more. Their push is still coming. Great poison though.
And this Miner helping out in that damage as well. Do they have anything for this defense though? We got a lot of flying units, but the Dark Prince is charging in. It's gonna get one hit, and that's very crucial. 51 is gonna be a count now for 5 Gaming. We'll see what happens here because Noise and Giant looking pretty comfortable at this
They have a lot of spells. They even had a poison, I believe, so they can just push into the tower. It's gonna be a matter of time. They have 2 minutes and 30 seconds. There's a fireball and the poison. A little extra damage should do it.
The Dark Prince is not going to reach it, but 29 damage is not so hard to get because it's a Miner that will get the finishing touch. And Noam Sai and Jai from Bren Esports will pick up this game 1 against 5 Gaming.
Can you believe this? Yeah. 5 Gaming, again dropping their 2v2, which is their strongest, I believe. Bren Esports, they are strong, but they're defeating every single team in that 2v2 now.
And this duo is looking better as the time goes by. Noam Sai and Jai, of course, the veterans, coming in all the way back from Season 1, showing back that even in Season 2, they are only getting better, and with more time invested into improving their play, they have shown that this Game 1, they have topped over a very strong duo of Rad and Yakitori from 5 Gaming. So with this Game 2 that will be coming up, we will see if Rad and Yakitori has an answer to this, because the first game was very clearly a win towards the Southeast Asian side.
Yeah, that Balloon on with the Rage never really got to the tower. The explosion damage didn't even get to the tower just once at the beginning, because it kind of caught them by surprise. But they had the Tombstone, they even had the freeze spell, which didn't work quite well. They had the bats, lots of air units to counter that Lava Balloon push coming out from 5 Gaming. So are they going to switch it now? Maybe bring in a few more spells. I think that freeze if it was held until the last second and have the possibly be dropped down, catching all the units at the same time, maybe that could have been the deal. But I think they used it a little bit too early in this game.
I revealing your hidden card a little bit too early there, and we will see if Rad and Yakitori can come back from this one after that game 1 did not go their way. That balloon really not connecting a single time through their multiple attempts. We're going to see another golem here from the side of Noimsai and Giant. We're going to see another lava balloon here seemingly from Rad and Yakitori.
So far, the similar type of push that we had in game 1. There's the balloon again. Early one.
Wow,
expecting a bad cycle, but there's a tombstone already. There's a drag. They have a freeze still to this day.
The bats are doing so well. I mean, the bats literally just carving out the pieces of that balloon and just not allowing it to get close enough. And once again, this golem did not connect this time around. So pretty good defense on the part of Rad and Yakitori. But how much elixir do they have saved up here? Because the miner is still going pretty strong as we see.
And the damage sometimes connecting with the golem, but miner actually did a lot of the damage in game 1.
Yeah.
As a surprise with the raid, so a lot has been used from Fob Gaming to do explosion damage to the tower. That was basically it.
We'll see this Inferno Dragon being saved by the Golem Summon just a little bit too front, and we will see if a pretty early summon of the Golem will help out Noimsai and Giant. Oh, the Dark Prince is going to be connecting, and the guards were too late on that one. It's going to take pretty crucial damage here as we see G-Cliff. 1724 on the left through that one run.
The Golem was on the right, so the Dark Prince didn't get dragged into it. The guards while somebody just 0.1 second too late there.
Yeah.
Costed them about 800 there.
Really did it. 1640.
Ooh, that's not a good trade.
No,
your Iwis are gone from 1 mini P.E.K.K.A.
4 elixir just down the drain here, so we will see Noimsai and Giant obviously having their own woes about that play. See if they can recover from this one.
Once you're in a hurry thinking about the next move, maybe you just misplace your units sometimes.
A little bit too early. I mean, you're just waiting that mini P.E.K.K.A. to get that one extra Princess Tower damage, and should have been good enough to come up with the entrance damage from the Ewiz, but
yeah, or you could have just placed the Ewiz like on the back of the tower,
sure,
to the side. I think it was a lot, but the blue this time connects once.
We'll see if this 4 elixir makes all the difference here, because it seemingly is. Even those lava pups doing a pretty good job, along with that balloon drop that gets it down to 303 in the end. So this golem defense, if this works out for Rad and Tokyo, this is going to be looking very good for them.
A lot of bomb tower defense, and bats deleted with that snow pop. Activates the king tower as well. That's going to matter a lot. Activating the king tower on the bottom with 303, that doesn't really matter too much.
With the miner deck.
Yeah. But the miner actually does so much less now from the king tower damage.
Another balloon summon here with 13 seconds left to go. Kind of shows the aggression. They could have just finished off with the spell, but not going to really do so, as we've seen the bomb tower still surviving here. But the explosion damage will not get there. Snowball will get it with time with the poison, and that will be game for Rad and Yakitori to come back to game 2. That 4 elixir trade that did not go in the way of Noimsai and Giant might just affect them too much.
That one, plus the mistakes, so that was not a game that where they played in game 1. It was the opposite, where they made a lot of mistakes. Rad and Yakitori, they went really bold from the beginning. They just had the right cards. So when we have the right cards, maybe the opponent does not have the same one. Maybe they don't have a tombstone in the starting hand. Let's just throw out everything and let's test the waters, what happens. And eventually they did have a tombstone. It didn't really work out as they wanted to, but still, it's a good try, and they started really forcing out those defenses to make the mistakes like that.
Yeah, you can see the smile just kind of disappearing just a little bit from the face of Noimsai, just kind of remembering to the fact that that mistake that happened around. So we're going to game 3, kind of wondering if Noimsai and Jai can recover back from this, especially more importantly mentally, because from all the things that happened, we are looking at Noimsai and Jai after that crucial mistake, which literally cost it in the game.
Yeah, so
they recovered.
Yeah, so with that mistake, they could have just said, oh, we made mistakes. That is the reason why we lost. We can just keep the same deck. We try to win just like in game 1. Both teams are thinking about the same thing. Now there's a mini P.E.K.K.A. against the Golem, a very good unit.
Yeah, that's the
they have their own miner this time. Okay, that's a difference.
So we're seeing the mini P.E.K.K.A. making the biggest difference in the last game, and wow, it's going to do wonders against this Golem. That 4 elixir summon is doing incredible stuff against this Golem push, and we will see now if the counter push can be strong enough. Now the bomb tower will be going towards this Dark Prince, and Dark Prince doing a lot of damage here.
Yeah, that was a cycle when they had the mini P.E.K.K.A. first, and they still had the bomb tower later, so when the Golem comes, they will be off to a good cycle now. Same for Noimsai, but the difference is that miner coming out from Fob Gaming, that's going to shake things a little bit.
We're going to see this Dark Prince once again trying to connect. This time it's not going to happen just as it did last time. So this bomb tower going to take good care of this golem that will just explode right in front of the tower. So probably going to save a lot of room for mistakes for Rad and Yakitori. Now it's going to be very ahead.
Yeah, Mini P.E.K.K.A does a lot, and Mega Minion just cleaning things up.
That's not a good cycle though for Noyan Giant. That's going to go in naked and really not going to allow anything to come on. Even that prediction snowball not coming into play, just kind of predicted the bats to be there a little bit earlier.
Yes, that could have been a good snowball, and got a few hits onto the tower as well if it hit perfectly onto the bats. But a nice try there.
In the end, Noyan Giant Jai wasting about 5 elixirs in that one, and we'll see if they can recover from this one because elixir-wise, I would say that Rad and Yakitori is pretty ahead at this point. So
with the lightning, they want to make this golem go to the tower now.
Yeah, the Dark Prince does connect, so we will now see.
But look at the bottom, the miner and the pups connecting so much damage with the poison.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of damage with 813, and this Mini P.E.K.K.A does go down, kind of allowing the Golemites to do a lot of damage there, and thankfully, the Dark Prince does not connect in that situation, so this miner though, on the backside.
So much, the bat summoning now, miner already did 400 damage by himself.
It's going to be down to 435, and 695 is going to be the what has to be taken out from the side of Noyan Sai and Jai, and 435 will be taken care of by Lightning, and anything close to that 128 will be taken care of by Poison. So will it be time for the side of Rad and Yakitori to get this damage here, because Noyan Sai and Jai already got to tower this poison damage with the 86. Do they have any more spells for it? Because it's the only thing. The miner, if it connects, yes it will, and it's going to be one more hit. We're going to go to a 2-crown game here, G-Cliff.
But they already used way too much elixirs. Double poison and a snowball plus the miner to destroy that tower only. When Bren Esports, they saved up all of that to actually make their own push with the golem now.
And we're going to look at this here. The Infernal Dragon is going to be connected once again to this Lava Hound, and this Bomb Tower once again doing a pretty good job, and this Mini P.E.K.K.A is still going to be rushing towards his goal. That's a pretty good defense.
And that's exactly why they had the lightning. Not doing too much damage because they lost the Dark Prince super early on. Great poison there.
Yeah, if you're Noyan Sai and Jai, you really want that lightning to connect onto the Mini P.E.K.K.A, but it was a little bit too early. We're going to see a pocket summon of that golem and see what it really ends up to. The bats is going to be destroying the bomb tower, and we're going to see the miners still connecting here. The golem still rushing in and will get the explosion damage right in front of the tower. Still going to be down to 1156. The Mini P.E.K.K.A will take care of most things, but still no damage done on the other side here.
This is the thing. They do the defense, but their counter attack doesn't really happen too well. Mini P.E.K.K.A's already destroyed. Electro Wizard stops the Infernal Dragon, and they have the miner, so they got to connect this one.
Yeah, that's it, but you know, you're not going to get too much damage off of that one. It seems like the Dark Prince.
That was a weak attack from Fab Gaming.
Putting that on the pocket was not the best answer for that Lava Hound, and we will see once again this 2010 HP that has to be covered by Rad and Yakitori. Can they get it done?
Only 1,019 to go for Bren Esports. They're really close. They got the poison in hand, getting the Infernal Dragon out. They have the lightning as well, so the bomb tower is gone. Golem will be marching towards that tower now.
And we will look at this Mini P.E.K.K.A that's still moving on here, and poison offensively being used by Rad and Yakitori. This golem, it's still going to be pretty ineffective, but that miner is still continuing to get a lot of damage here.
Good guard to actually go against the miner in that case. They have their own miner in this time, and even though they're down only by 3 of 3, that's a poison plus another spell, very likely.
Yeah. That's it. You know, one poison used defensively by Noyan Sai and Jai, but it seems like it's a little bit too late for this one. The lightning will take care of it, and Noyan Sai and Jai, after losing that game 2, was kind of a little bit in the shakings, but they do come back into game 3, win to set 1.
Lightning just enough to take out for extra damage there. And they had a lot of elixir control because they had a better trade in the first tower destroyed onto the left. And Fab Gaming ended up using a lot more in the spells, lots of poisons, the extra miner. Even though their own miner actually helped in the final game, it was not as effective when they had just a Mini P.E.K.K.A with the Mega Minion. No one really tanking it in front, like the Golem from Bren Esports.
And the entire story of this first set was the elixir trade. I mean, the game 1, the elixir trade went in favor of Bren Esports, and they took advantage of that and won in game 2. That crucial mistake, dying out to the Mini P.E.K.K.A with that electro wizard summon and losing out 4 elixirs, and that kind of cost them the game. And game 3, once again, getting a huge lead in that first tower trade, got them the huge elixir lead that, you know, pushed them all the way forward to get that game 3 victory.
Isn't that what Clash Royale is all about?
Really
elixir
is.
trade, reading cycles so you can get better trade all the time. And in 1v1 it's possible, and I do play a lot of 2v2 personally as well, but you can't really read all the cycles of 16 cards together. It's really hard when there are that many spells in their hands. It's impossible what they're holding. You can kind of have a good sense. Oh, like they haven't used a lightning spell for like the last minute. They should have it. Then, but when there's like 2 giant snowball, 2 arrows, 2 zaps, 2 logs happening all the time, who knows what's happening? Having 1 or 2.
Well, at the same time, it is very instinctual in how the players kind of adapt to this 2v2 play, and that's what makes it more impressive when teams do very, very well on the circumstance. And a team that is doing well is Bren Esports, with Noinside and Giant looking just as good as they were against the Koreans, and even against the top teams from Japan. Being against the second-place team at FOF Gaming, still looking at making it look pretty easy as they win this first set.
Yeah, that's going to be a first set win for them. Noaim, and Jai, really strong duo, and it's really rare to make for us to see those kind of mistakes for them. It seemed like it just slipped out of their hands for a second, but still they have managed to bring it back to them. So they got the set win, but we have to move on to 1v1 now, and it's Manong GP. He's pretty strong right now.
Well, Manong GP, you can count on him to get some wins, and it's going to be against Donnie, not Kensumeshi. So typical player we do see in that 1v1 role is going to be Kensumeshi, coming all the way back from Season 1, and we do say Season 1, but most of these guys came from Season 1, actually, the first season, with Donnie coming back as well. So we are looking at Kensumeshi being the 4th player lineup in the bench right now. So Donnie has to be the one to come up and really beat this really hyped player that we know with Manong GP from Bren Esports, who's been fantastic for the recent weeks.
Yep, and the ban has been Tornado and what was the other one?
It was Tornado and...
I wrote it down.
Yeah.
But I can't read it.
It's what's your right there?
M-O.
It's not Mortar, is it?
I think so, yes.
Is it Mortar?
Yes, I think so. I remember it now.
All right.
How'd you read it?
I mean, it says M. I was thinking of all the cards that start with M and Mortar.
Oh yes, I think that's the choice because we see a lot of those. Not just a log bait deck, lots of goblin cycles, and it includes more oftentimes. I think that's the reason why we banned it. If like Lampo came out, I think that's going to be certainly a good snipe ban. And as Lampo's, I think, slowly falling out of that because of that ban happening a lot.
Yeah.
But I think for 1v1, these kind of bans like the Ice Golem that we saw from last week, just banning out against lots of a lot of player that uses a lot of bandits or 3 musketeers with the Ice Golem. That's a really good ban to actually have all the time.
So, with all that talking, we are finally getting started with that set 2. 1v1 Manong GP looking pretty strong, and look at this 1v1 record currently 3-4. Doesn't kind of convince you that he is the best 1v1 player, but look at the King of the Hill, 7-2. When the pressure is on the line, he does know how to deliver the goods.
That's exactly the story here. As when it comes down to a very important game, you can actually do better. But for Danny as well, look at that, 5-1.
Incredible. I mean, 2-1 on the 1v1 chart. It's already a winning record, but add to that, 5-1 makes it a 7-2 overall record for these 1v1 matches. So very nicely done for Danny so far. He's been quietly kind of rising up the leaderboard in terms of the best 1v1 player we have here in Clash Royale. And it's a little bit early to say that for sure, but Donnie, I'm sure he'll get another chance to bring down a top player as we know him as Manong GP. So.
Yeah, both player actually in the King of the Hill destroyed OG Nentus.
Wow. That helps with your record a little bit. Come on, G-Clef, we all know that.
Yeah, 2 wins for Manong GP, 3 wins for Danny, straight up. That was a streak for Danny against OG Nentus. So.
Anytime you want stat boosting, you know who to call. We got OG Nentus on mine. We are going to start with Manong GP, starting it off with the Ice Golem. And we're going to get the Royal Ghost on the other side for Donnie.
Yeah, Ice Golem.
You going to have nothing?
Okay. Mine just has a defensive tool.
It works.
Seems like he has really no pairs right now in his hand. So he just wants to cycle out the cards. There's a Magic Archer. There's that bad boy destroying the arena right now.
We will see it maybe with the Barbarian Hut, but this time around, because we're going to see a balloon pretty early here in this round.
And no defense. Oh, there's a Tombstone now, but destroyed instantly.
1 drop. It will get it. That's going to be 1736, so very nicely done. But this Tombstone, having produced a lot of skeleton, is going to get a lot more damage.
Rascal Boy.
And look at that. The Rascal Boy is really just escorting these skeletons in line. 10-27 with that first push.
Dani took a blue hit, which seems like a big hit every single time. But when you can do more and you can get the better trade, here comes the Royal Hogs.
Royal Hogs with
nothing in the middle.
Oh my word, and that's gonna be the Mega Knight is a pretty good counter, but look on the left side. Literally abandoning it right now, Manong GP. And what are you gonna do about this? 378, it's only gonna be a couple spells away.
I wonder if that's gonna be a bad choice or a good choice, depending on the right side, because yes, the attack onto the left, there's a balloon now.
The Magic Archer is trying to knock down this balloon. It's not doing a very good job. It will get that one hit. Thank goodness it doesn't get the second drop there.
With that explosion, yeah, but it comes down to similar HP onto the left side, both towers. But look at the Rascals are destroying Manong GP's towers right now.
Yeah, 1167 on the left side. This Mega Minion will not make it to the tower in time. And the bats are coming in, probably the Royal Hogs getting ready to summon right at the river here. And gonna go right out of here. So the bats are gonna be supporting these Royal Hog pushes, and it's gonna be allowing the tower to go down on the left side. So that's gonna be first tower in favor of Donnie, and we'll have this balloon coming up with this Mega Knight. Can this be stopped? 12 elixir investment now.
Tombstone is actually really good against the Mega Knight as well. Comes onto the skeleton most of the time. It buys a lot of time. Balloon now connecting into the tower, and the Magic Archer doing his job.
But it's going to lose the first tower on the left side though, so it will mean that it's going to be a 2-crown game, and we are looking at, oh, that's not very good. If you do have the Mega Knight, that's not going to be very coming in from one side, and 953 here. And this Magic Archer will die out. We'll see what happens here.
Not giving it another jump range. That was a good placement. Bats going to the balloon, but the miner actually connecting to the girls right now.
Oh, that fireball was crucial, and that will get the death onto that balloon, only dropping it to 760. It's not the end of the game, and there's going to be one more chance for Donnie to take care of this.
Mano can keep on his defense with the Mega Knight, but he's got to make his own balloon push, or actually at least the minor damage connecting into it.
And we are looking at this once again, the Rascals being out, and no Mega Knight in cycle. This is crucial. Just got to go for the rush here, and who gets the first one? The balloon will die out, so that's going to be almost surely a game for Donnie. And 488 is not going to be enough for Manong GP. Would have liked it if he gotten that drop. That would have been the end of the game, but Donnie showing the biceps, and he's one to really win out this game, one in a very close fashion.
Against the balloon, it seems like Southeast Asian players especially, it seemed like we saw a lot of the ready, but this time coming out from Japan against the balloon, which is not really used too many times from the entire region of Southeast Asia, 1v1 in Clash Royale League Asia, but was actually used this time. Donnie having so much experience, I think he's got the perfect defense with the Tombstone oftentimes.
Incredible game by Donnie, showing that one that he can really make it happen against the balloon, and each drop that happened, really the heart drops every time it does. And Donnie did defend in the best of ways, even at the very end, just outcycling the Mega Knight was the key play there, just allowing the Royal Hogs to get through in time. But game 2 will now begin. Donnie winning the first one, looking to do it again in the second.
It seems like without the tornado, we were expecting those Hogs. What can you actually do? Really bring your bomb tower once again into 1v1? Not as likely as 2v2. So is it the time for the barbarian huts?
Could be. Looking for a bit of a stall.
With the Zappies, we see a lot of the 3 Musketeer, which is super popular for all the Japanese players.
Yeah, it's going to be incredibly important. Deck is figured out before anything significant does happen. The Royal Hogs, so kind of once again hinting to us that this might be another 3 Musketeer deck, but the P.E.K.K.A on defense is going to do a pretty good job against Donnie here, but still taking significant damage on the left side.
Pretty good job. It's just sometimes just not enough, actually. P.E.K.K.A is an okay defense, but still your tower takes a lot of damage.
This definitely looks like the 3 Musketeers deck that you're referring to. Donnie is coming in here, and we are going to see if he can connect, because he has a lot of units, and this battle ram will connect on the right side here, and it's going to do a lot of damage now.
If you had the low, I think he could have thrown right before it connected to the tower. That would have been the perfect timing, but because of the attack from the left side happening at the same time, I think that was really hard to measure.
Yeah, ended up taking up more damage than he kind of would have from the P.E.K.K.A instead, because an 1190 on the right is not the best start for Donnie, and Manong GP is probably all smiles after that one.
He's got his defense with the Bandit this time. Just to throw off, I think he wants to collect the elixirs and make his own attack now.
The Royal goes to help out just a little bit, so It will take minimal damage, 1295. This Mega Knight once again doing a very good job against these two units. When you send out two units like that, mid-tier, and you do get smacked down by the Mega Knight, it's not the best feeling.
Mega Knight against the P.E.K.K.A. Let's see. The Battle of Steels win.
Oh, I definitely know who wins on that one. There's a clear winner on
And
this
plus
one.
the Princess Tower helping out.
Yeah. I mean, the P.E.K.K.A. will win every time against the Mega Knight. It's a strict counter. We will see another battle ram here, see if it connects. And the Tombstone this time will be available to soak up all the charge.
Even the Magic Archer placement is really good to actually do damage to a lot of units together. Got the
Royal
miners
Ghost.
needed.
The Royal Ghost is coming in here and will do a lot of damage. And we are looking at this P.E.K.K.A. once again. And the Zappies resetting the P.E.K.K.A., kind of slowing down the attack. And it'll be pretty good, but still 823 down, meaning that it's still behind in terms of Donnie wanting to come back from this one.
Bandit charging, helping. They need all the Zappies a lot, but P.E.K.K.A. really never connected because there's a lot of small units down there.
We are looking at the Zappy is going to be connecting in time. The Mega Knight is going to be connecting on the right side, so completely abandoned. We'll see who gets the first tower here.
The less damage because a lot of hogs.
Okay, the Bandit goes on the right side. That might not be the plan that you're looking for, but 326 is going to be once again too much for MonoGP to hold over. That last push with the Royal Hogs did a very good job, and that is going to be the tower, and it's going to be the game for the side of Donnie.
Donnie having a strong 2-0 here, and that's going to bring us to the King of the Hill for our first match tonight, as Bren Esports took the first one. And 5 Gaming brings it back with that strong 2-0.
And Donnie just losing one game so far in all the 1v1 sets and still going to remain at one loss because it's 2 more wins on the board and it's going to bring his team to the King of the Hills. And for how good he is in the King of the Hills, we expect him to really shine once again for 5 Gaming.
Well, we'll see who's better. I think they're going to have another matchup very likely in that King of the Hill. Both OG and Entus Destroyers. I just have to throw that one out there. As it was close 2 games, but MonoGP having a little bit of trouble because he brought his P.E.K.K.A. against the Royal Logs. Not the best counter, I would say, unless you have your own gigantic push with the P.E.K.K.A. But P.E.K.K.A. oftentimes with the Battle Ram, it just goes to one side, it dies before it gets to the tower. Battle Ram is the actual push, but once there's Zappies to cancel the charge all the time.
Tombstone as well, soaking up the damage.
Yes, exactly. That was a really hard game for him, especially the second one. And even losing the first one, I think that was a big point where Donnie just brought everything to himself.
And you would have thought that after that Battle Ram connected for the first time, taking out basically half the tower on that first push, we maybe thought hope was in the air for the side of MonoGP. But ever since that Tombstone was introduced and with the Zappies placed at the right timing, at the right location, we knew that it was going to be very, very tough to connect those Rams every single time. It's just going to be soaked right into the middle. So we will see if Donnie's success really just brings over all the way to the King of the Hills, because it's set 3 now. He brought his team right over to the situation where he can win another one and still remain as the second best team in Japan. Can't very much do so if he can get this win.
Yeah, the good part about the King of the Hill for both of the teams, they actually have a really strong 1v1 player for overall around the roster.
Yeah.
Noam Saijai, known as a strong 1v1 player from Season 1. Even Trainer Can is a great player from Bren Esports. So their roster with 4-man, actually really strong in the King of the Hill. And only 3 of the 4 can come out, of course. 5 Gaming also the same. Rat, Danny, Kensumeshi, they're all really strong. I haven't really seen Yakitori too much in that 1v1, but I'm pretty sure he can bring some actions as well.
I mean, the fact that you can bring your 4th player, Kensumeshi, into the lineup in that King of the Hills does help quite a bit. So Donnie and Kensumeshi will be the one probably being added by Rad, most likely, as the roster for 5 Gaming in this King of the Hill in this set 3. But we will find out pretty soon enough whether Bren Esports can get a win back after they lost in that set 2. Probably the confidence on that 1v1 dripping down a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's a lot more advantageous for Bren Esports. Actually, they have a lot more 1v1 player compared to 5 Gaming. They have Danny and also Kensumeshi a little bit having that 1v1, but not the greatest record, I would say.
Sure.
If those 2 drop, I wonder who the final choice is going to be, Yakitori or Rad. That's going to make the difference here, I think.
Well, the challenge is up there, but we do say Danny has only lost 1 single game of the King of the Hills and won the rest, meaning that
he could win everything.
He could win everything. He could just make it all clear. Against OG and Entus, he did it. He can do it against Bren Esports, maybe. So we will see, once again, a first look at the Southeast Asia with Japan in current time to see which region is the better region altogether, because it's really difficult to tell knowing that both these regions have been pretty outstanding so far.
And Five Gaming had Oz, not today, of course, in the roster, but that he's in the team. Came out for that 1v1, lost in that 1v1, so he's not going to be out here. They actually do not have any other King of the Hill win rate, except for Rad having 1 win, that's about it. Yakitori having 1 loss. So they actually do not have too many experiences altogether. There's a roster now.
This is kind of what we expected from 5 Gaming, with Rad being the first bait up, and Kensumechi is going to be the middleman, with Donnie hoping to be the finisher for the rest of the matches. And we are going to see basically Noam Sai going to be absent, but everybody else, Jai, Manong GP, and Trainer Ken is going to be making the roster for Bren.
And don't really remember who exactly we had for 5 Gaming.
It was Rad, Donnie, and Kensumechi.
So without Yakitori, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Which is what we expected. Coming in again, but once this guy goes into the streak, look at that, look at those numbers. A lot of, that was the game numbers, this is a set score now.
Yeah.
So 0-1 set score, 5-4 set score. Because once we come down to the game number, that just gets way too big. At 8 weeks into the play, you can switch that in better numbers for you guys to watch, for you guys to look.
So we will see if Rad has what it takes to beat Manong GP, the strongest player in terms of 1v1 for the side of Bren Esports. We're going to see a pretty low-voiced Goblins and the King, and we will see if this affects the play here. The Megan Minion will take care of this Goblin game that's charging in now from
And
Bridge.
Yeah, just to mention again, tornado bans for both teams, so there's just 1 spell banned out from this entire King of the Hill.
So it is, and the Zap will come through, probably going to get allowed.
Just in time for the cannon card.
So does a pretty good job defensively, but that's a pretty heavy investment, if I would have to say, to get that out just for defense. Knowing that, they're pretty aggressive
this one will
here.
be a hard one to actually defend against, but he has a perfect hand against it. Only 2 hits from the Giant, and the Horde should be able to take out the Prince.
Oh, now can he defend against this one, the Manong?
Just use the Zap, but Hunter is not a bad one.
Will die out. So.
Oh, he shoots the second one before he goes down. Nice one.
Okay, so the guards will just be able to soak up the damage.
That was close.
That was close, and Manong GP, he almost took a lot of damage there.
About the same trade, I would say. A little bit better of a situation for Manong GP, as he can still change into the left or the right. He's got the Prince, but the real problem will be that those lots of goblins, the spear goblins and the goblin gang. Here comes the barrel.
Cycling through the bar barrel, and we'll just get a couple of hits here if it's not going to be counted upon, and we'll just end up in 1, and we will see this Mega Minion charging towards this cannon cart running through, and so this is once again a pretty blind cannon cart that's going to be charging up to this Prince and the Giant that is going to be coming in. The Hunter will once again take care of all these minion hordes, and
this is a great push with the Hunter. Yeah, with the Hunter against the Goblins, it takes out everything together.
That looks like the closest thing we've seen to GG in these 1v1 matches so far. The Hunter will go on.
4 hits.
That's it. I mean, literally, when you have to summon the miner that late, and knowing that you've already taken more than thousands of damage on that one, and this is looking like a Manong GP type of game, and this card once again is very clutch on the situation on defense against this cannon card. So soon enough, we probably will see Manong GP pull ahead on this one.
This kind of case, the barrel is not really too effective against Manong GP. He doesn't really have too much small units. He wants to push, but the cannon card not being in range anytime soon, that's going to be the biggest problem for Rad. Coming down to clock, 17 seconds left.
And we'll just get that right tower down with that Prince charge that came in, but now putting the pressure on the left side, has all the luxury to do so, and really no significant damage from Rad onto either of the towers, and this Hunter being the MVP of this game will get the win over towards Manong GP for this first game victory.
Rad had the Barbarian Barrel plus another spell, I believe it was maybe a Fireball, which is not too effective against anything. Or even a Poison could have been done against the guard, but he didn't really have the Elixir lead at all in this game. Manong GP just having a dominant control with that gigantic push with the Giant Prince. Plus the Hunter, that was the stamp that he wanted to have in this game, just stamping a win for himself.
Or if you have to summon 8 elixirs worth of units in terms of that minion horde and also the Goblin gang, and it gets cancelled out pretty easily from the side of Manon GP. And it makes the game pretty easy. When you have a huge elixir lead like that, you can just push with all your units and make it very difficult for your opponent to stop that one.
Seems like we need to lower it for Kenzumeshi.
Well, understandable.
Yes.
We all have our woes. And Kenzumeshi, he's first time playing today, and he's definitely ready to play. I think the equipment just needs a little bit of adjustment to get into this one because his teammate losing out. He is holding a 3-1 set wins in that 1v1, and a very impressive record for himself so far, but no King of the Hill so far for him. It's the first time on.
Yeah, no 2v2, no King of the Hill. Usually because he came in as 1v1 player a few times, not too many, 4 sets only. And then, why do we suddenly have a music change? And then we suddenly, and he oftentimes was acting as a coach, kind of like a Jerry Sung in the team. He had a lot of those coach moments where he just came on to his teammates and making sure they had the right emotional feeling to go into the game.
We'll see. Just kind of onto the player's role here. Kenzumeshi picking up 3 wins and 1 loss in the 1v1 set. Just gonna put out the good luck out there. We're gonna give a little love over towards Manon GP as we start this one and see if he can kind of revitalize his team after Rad lost the first one here.
So I wonder what kind of deck he brings. Manon GP looks to bring the same deck as we see the Prince first.
Not gonna have to Giant to start things off, but still will get the charge through towards that Royal Ghost. Does a pretty good job, and now the Lumberjack coming through on the opposing end. Manon GP.
With the Prince, so he wants to lead everything with that poison damage.
Look at this though. Just kind of rushing all the way through it. This Rage will now just accelerate this Batarang, but will knock into the tower in time and not even going to get damage to the tower because the Dark Prince putting all the distractions out there.
And good placement of the Mega Minion as well, destroying everything with the Magic Archer.
Will be a pretty good use of that 3 elixirs toward that Royal Ghost, getting both the Mega Minion and also the Dark Prince out of there. So we'll see a continual run from Kenzumeshi, who currently has the lead, and now it's going to be looking towards to make a better push. Like I said, it is the same, basically the same deck coming from Manon GP with the Dark Prince and the Prince to support this giant unit.
And Kenzumeshi does have an Inferno Dragon, so it's going to take some time, but as long as he can chop off all the damage, getting the Prince distracted by the Batarang all the way into the back.
And the Zap is not going to be the best one from the side of Manon GP, and Kenzumeshi is going to be running for it. This Rage is going to be helping out. All these damage that are coming through, the Royal Ghost is going to get boosted, and it's going to be putting damage on, but the US is there to stop both those units, and now going to Dark Prince charging in. Will he be able to stop this one?
Manon GP has a lot of spells, 3 spells, and basically double Prince, that's about it for his attack. And little poison damage, that's going to chip down on help as a helping tool, but in this case it doesn't have a Hunter, and it is actually a different deck compared to his first game.
Switch sides here after he gets more of the damage onto the right side, 23-42, and this Prince is going to be rotating in from the right side. And you will see basically die out. This Batarang, once again, not really targeting the tower as the Prince is too close to it.
And Elect Wizard canceling all the laser damage coming out from the Inferno Dragon. The drag from Ice Golem is just enough, and only the poison damage really taken from Kenzumeshi, and we only have 23 seconds in this game.
Manon GP has a lot of elixir. Now he's leaking just a little bit, just waiting for his opponent to make the move first. And gonna opt to switch the side as well. Gonna be going for the same push. Hoping to get the win here, but gonna see the batter on the opposing side with the Lumberjack. So this is a pretty heavy push. And this Magic Archer is gonna help out just a little bit as well. The Barbarian once again not connecting to the tower very equally in. We will see Magic Archer finish things off. In terms of the Mega.
Ooh, the Giant on the right is pretty strong, but the real charge comes out from the left side. Dark Prince gets charged, but continues to punch. The Electro Wizard stopped the Inferno Dragon for a long time.
That's going to be 968. This Prince is not going to get a charge. And Lumberjack was a little bit miscalculated there from Kenzumeshi and thought that the Prince would go back. This might be a situation where he's too far behind on elixirs, and this Giant will get 1 punches at a time, and 2 punches will be the count altogether. And we all look at this EWIS.
Perfect.
It's going to be still looking through, and this log, I actually do say, was very significant.
To keep that damage away from that Royal Ghost, really nicely done by Manon GP. She's timing it perfectly.
Huge lead. This is a situation where that 462 looks very, very minuscule in terms of this Giant's going to be punching it down with the help of that offensive poison. Will be good enough. One more punch will be eventual, and that will be Kenzamashi going down to Manong GP, keeping his streak alive now. Already down to the last man for FOF Gaming.
Wow, what a fast set of games coming out here. Manong GP just having a streak. And final one, I believe we're just left with Donnie. We're going to have a rematch of that 1v1, which Donnie just had a 2-0 on that set number 2. So it's going to be a rematch, and Manong GP with that 3-spell double print stack, which is really rare to see. Even in grand challenges or in competitive. He has made that work with really nice spell uses, basically.
We all know that Manong GP, he doesn't necessarily do well in 1v1 set 2, but when it comes to the King of the Hill, he does something that's very, very different from what we've seen from set 2s before. So it's done pretty well. Getting 2 more wins so far. It's going to go up to Donnie to see what he can do against this very strong Manong GP.
Could be the final round. No tornadoes this time in this entire King of the Hill, so we don't need to worry about the placement of the miner.
Same time, Ewas came in a little bit late there, even at the wrong placement. Kind of gets us to question just a little bit, but
it's hard to predict once there's tornado banned out.
We'll see. This Royal Ghost going to be charging through it. I'm going to be looking at this battle ram trying to take all the charge here, and this Donnie having a tough time in this first game matchup that we see.
But we have to see the rest of the card. I think against the Prince, as long as he has something like the Tombstone or some set of skeletons, just as the one's Elixir cycle, I think that's actually pretty good. Even Bandit, not too bad.
Good prediction.
There it is now.
Yeah, good prediction coming from the Bandit to get rid of this damage that came in. And the Hunter will go down with the Bandit charge. And Bandit charge will probably just come through once again, but the Royal Ghost is going to stop that from play. And we'll just require one more swipe from the Royal Ghost to get this Ewiz down.
That's gotta come as this one actually, okay, he has to throw down the battle ram as well because it was going to connect to the tower if he didn't. So that's a lot of elixirs actually lost. Not really making the big play from Danny.
Look at the Royal Ghost connecting to that Hunter, but will just die in one shot with all those collects connecting to the body. And we are going to be looking to this Prince. He's going to get ahead. And this Pekka is here in time. So Pekka, a great natural counter to the Giant. But this Prince is going to be destroying it away.
Yeah, nice zap though. But having the dash into the Christmas, but real push is coming in with the Hunter.
Oh no. This Hunter is unstopped. And it's going to be a situation where the Miner is just going to be tanking things up. And the Hunter's going to get the freeze and damage it. A couple hundred each time he gets that.
Really nice zap coming in right in the middle, destroying all the air units and the Pekka and the tower together. Just making the spell work. Near perfection all the time.
It is, and this Fireball not going to be a lot of advantage. Going towards Manong, should be just going to be looking for that cycle and doesn't really need units to get forward here.
The Giant to block the dash, that might just do it with the push that can happen from Danny.
This Pekka's coming in. As long as this Pekka doesn't make it all the way to the tower, this is a situation where Manong GP is going to be pretty confident that he can win this one with a lot of ease. And we're not going to be looking towards this Pekka that does die out. The Prince is going to be attacked seemingly by the minions along with the Ewith, but will still survive as he just makes a continual push now.
Double zap plus the Fireball will have the perfect damage onto the tower, I believe.
That's it. One more punch and Fireball, just make sure that he gets it. And the security from Manong GP, after winning out all his 3 games of the King of the Hills, will win out set 3 single-handedly. So after losing set 2, he does bring back his forgiveness from his teammates after losing that one. Just wins it all by himself.
Wow, well, suddenly we have, with the last few days, last few weekends of Royale League Asia, we have a lot of King of the Hill streaks 3-0 happening from one player. And Manong GP does it this time. He brings it back. Even against Danny, he lost 0-2. But we were also saying that he just had pretty bad deck to go against those Royal Hogs. Surprising that we actually saw no Royal Hogs in the King of the Hill. Came down to lots of those Battle Rams and Bandit plays.
I mean, literally for Manong GP, he basically used the same deck for all 3 games.
Yes.
And you would understand that if it brings you good results, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We all know that phrase, and really, he took that phrase to the extent of what that means. So Manong GP, after losing that set 2 from Donnie, 2-0. I'm sure he felt bad about losing his game, and even with the 2v2 set winning out from Bren Esports, that they had to go to the King of the Hills. I'm sure he wanted to make a little bit of apology and just really bring it back with a lot of retaliation. He really did that, and it seems like Trainer Ken, I didn't even have to play today. He was put on the roster, but you really need to play when Manon should be plays that well.
Yeah, if you can have 3-0, you don't even need the other players, and that's going to be actually very good news for Bren Esports. From third, they go to the first place because they had take that win. Of course, we're going to have a lot more matches. We'll see where they end up at the end of the day. But right now, because of that one single win from 6-3, that was tied for three teams. 7-3, first place.
That's what it is, and the HQ will play tomorrow. They'll get their spot to regain their first place position, but we will see if they can do that tomorrow. For the meantime, it is going to be Chaos Theory and Kicks that is going to be in the waiting lineup to see if they can win against the Japanese teams out there. So it was a very good first match, and we will see, obviously, Chaos Theory after that good one from Bren Esports to see if they can continue on the win.
Yeah, against Detonation Gaming, that's going to be the next match, but I believe we are about to have an interview very soon. Wonder who it is. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Mainland China.
Well, let's hear from them to see what they have to say after the game.
Okay, now this is the interview after the game. KH would like to do some interview, and also before that, congratulations to Bren Esports.
Thank you very much.
对，那这边第一个问题呢，就想要来问一下是，你们在赛前呢，因为我们知道东南亚分区跟日本分区目前的一个战况是很接近的，你们对于这一次的对决有没有做事前的准备呢？
So before the game, we know that either in SCA or Japan, we have some quite close games between the teams. So what kind of preparation did you make before the games?
We just practiced a lot because I think the last 3 weeks in the regular season are very crucial because all of the 3 teams in Southeast Asia are tied for #1, and just one mistake will give the advantage for the other teams.
那其实就是不断练习哦，因为在其实过去2周的时候，我们 SEA 里面的话，其实3个队伍都是并排第1个，所以我们必须要非常小心，免得一个失误，那我们就是落后其他2个队伍。
好的，那现在问一下第2个问题哦，就是在东南亚分区里面有没有哪一支队伍你们觉得是你们的头号劲敌呢？
So the next question is that which team among SEA do you think will be the strongest competitor to you?
We're actually tied. I think that our greatest competitor is HQ, but then other team members think that it's Chaos Theory, but I think they're equally strong.
那我个人认为的话应该是AHQ 哦，但是其他几位队员都是觉得说应该是 KIX。那不管怎么样，其实这2队都是蛮强劲的队伍。
好的，那一样是问一下最后一个问题喽。就这边想问一下盲农击笔选手，就你刚刚在前面的1v1是落败了，但来到了 KOH 战是成功的3穿了对方，有没有什么心得感想要跟大家分享
The last question goes to Manon Jimpi. You lost 2 games in the 1v1 set, but then you come with 3 strikes in KOH. So how do you feel about that?
Sa akin, okay lang naman na natalo ako ng 2 game. Hindi naman ako parang na-down kasi feeling ko lamang lang siya sa deck kaya niya ako natalo. So yun, sabi ko sa kanila ako mauna. Gusto kong ibawi yung sarili ko. Gusto kong patunayan na yung 2 pagkatalo ko, hindi lang ako natalo dahil sa magaling siya, kundi lamang siya sa deck sa akin. Kaya yun.
He said that the other 2 games was the first 2 games he lost due to he thinks that the opponent has the upper hand in comes to deck, and he wants to go first in the King of the Hill because he wants to redeem himself and prove that he just won because of the deck, and he'll prove himself that he won by skill.
好，那在1v1的时候，其实他觉得对方 赢的是因为他在那个组牌上面比较有优势哦，但是也因此他会希望是在第三个部分，也就是在 KOH 的时候，他能够去证明自己。其实除了这个小小的一个失误以外，他其实是可以能够占上风的。
好的，那现在超访问也是在这边先告一段落，那一样是要感谢我们目前在东南亚分区最强劲的 Bren Esports。
Now, so that's all for the conclusion of the interview. Again, congratulations to our Bren Esports in SEA.
Thank you very much.
好的，那我们先进入精彩 highlight，精彩对决马上就回来喽。
Well, that's it, and I'm sure Bren Esports felt very good about that one. Even Mainland GP kind of confirming what you were saying. It was only the decks that were the kind of the differing situation where he definitely could have won, and he had the confidence to go out first and literally all clear it, which he actually did. So we will see if Mainland GP and the rest of Bren Esports can keep up the success, because they were looking good in that last round.
And the rest of the members saying Chaos Theory seems like the biggest competitor, and they're playing right after. Going against the 4th place Detonation, so it should be a little bit of an easier matchup for them, because right now Southeast Asia, they're tied with 3 teams right now. Oh, of course, Bren Esports moving up top, but still very, very close on depending on one match result. We'll see who comes out at the end of not just tonight, at the end of Sunday especially.
It just means that, KO3, if they do win out this one, it really becomes a true competitor to Bren Esports to really hold that top position once again equally. So we will see the sets and game differences that probably eke out the differences in the two sides in the end. But can Chaos Theory win out against another Japanese team with Detonation Gaming kind of putting themselves at the bottom of the table right now? But we are looking at Japan. Losing out the first game was a little bit of a surprise to us. So we'll see if it happens again, because we're going to go to a short break, guys. And once we're back, Chaos Theory and Detonation Gaming to see if Japan can get a win out of today. Welcome back, guys, and we're back with Royale Asia Season 2 with the first series going over to the side of Southeast Asia with Bren Esports getting the win over FOB Gaming. We will see the second matchup here, Chaos Theory, Detonation Gaming. A team that's looking to get another win is going to be Chaos Theory, probably from the bottom side, the Japanese side with Detonation Gaming. Looking like it might just be another Southeast Asian win.
Oh, it depends. I think it because of the meta where we have everything, you can literally bring everything, even the Magic Archer. Now the Barbarian Barrel getting a massive change, a massive buff, I would say. Even quite in the meta, even in the ladder, Grand Challenge, everywhere basically. Not as much as the other card, but still at least getting used along with a lot of spells as well. So it comes down to the ban card, how you can actually have an effective, really effective deck against the ban card. I think that was really the big K of winning the 1v1 matchup in the first one too.
Yeah, with Donnie winning against Manon GP said to himself that it was literally the deck difference that made all the difference in terms of him not being able to win out in that 1v1 setting. He proved himself that he can beat anybody from 5. He literally did in that King of the Hill. So going on to the second series now. Chaos Theory, JTV Careless, Benzorido, and Ray Bagus in that bench. And we will see these three players to see what they can really make themselves in terms of this game that will come up very soon.
JTV Carlos, oftentimes duo, playing a lot together. And sometimes with Benzorido as well, but he's oftentimes the 1v1 player for the team. He's always in the team. And on the other side, we do have Detonation Gaming.
With Kuin, Lewis, and still back on that 2v2 roster as we're always kind of used to having. But Tempura has been pretty weak in terms of his recent games, but still is going to make his appearance back in that 1v1 with putting Pierre Mackey back in the bench once again.
And for the 2v2, we're going to have a start, of course. So take a look at the ban cards. Tornado ban, interesting enough, all the games tonight. Inferno Dragon from Kuin Lewis. So we might actually have the usual one that comes out from Chaos Theory, the Royal Giant and the Giant Skeleton. And Tempura banning the Royal Hogs with that Tornado. So we go back to the old decks, I guess.
It really does, and putting out the Royal Hogs out of this meta really brings up a lot of possibility with the most recent changes that came occur with the Bar Barrel along with the Graveyard deck that's been very hot in this Grand Challenge decks. And you also see the Royal Giant being very successful even at level 9 when played properly. So we might just be able to see that from the side of Japan or side of Southeast Asia. But you have to wait for that result where Benzorido does go up against Tempura. But for the meantime, we are going to go with this 2v2 set, JTV and Careless teaming up to see what they can make themselves out of in terms of them against Ku and Lewis.
When the Tornado is not banned out, sometimes they bring out the Golem and a few other pushes, even the air push a lot of the times. Having one big moment with the structure ones, that was almost too close, but didn't come out with a win. Ku and Lewis, they sometimes just go for the old ones, having the log bait deck, having a lot of Goblin Barrels.
These guys were the staple duos coming back all the way from Season 1, and here they continue in Season 2, trying to find a lot of success, but Detonation Gaming finding themselves at the bottom place in the Japan region. Kind of shows us they're a little bit in the position where they're wanting just a little bit more, but can they get what they need in this game 1, in this set 1 here with JTV and Careless looking to challenge them once again?
Yeah, let's try. They tried Pyramid Get Tempura once, and then they lost and said, okay, let's go back and stay with the duo that we want.
Then look at this Skelly Barrel, that will be very effective. Oh, look at this, even the Flying Machine dying out as well. So looking at all of this, it will be pretty good damage for the first part, but we're missing out for that Royal Hogs on the first try here.
Only the guards defending against it. Did about 900 damage onto the left bottom.
Even that Flying Machine on the right side doing a lot of damage as well. So this Miner is going to try to make up for that by trying to get a lot of damage through, but it is going to be 1466, which is a lot more than what we saw from this Mega Minion. The Zap will be there in time, so just allowing it to get a single swipe.
Because they have the Royal Hogs, so they can split the attack. That's the good news about them. And they did about the same damage in between. Great E-Wizard to stop them altogether.
Stop one bat from making its way to the tower, and probably just have this Valkyrie along with this Mega Minion be poisoned out, and we will see how much damage you can get here. The Flying Machine trying its best to get all the defense strats through.
Yeah, that was quite an early log. I think they could have just waited for the if not the units that they actually wanted to have all the way into the back of the tower. They could have waited a little longer. The Flying Machine got deleted in that moment.
We are looking at this situation once again. The Royal Hogs being very effective. This cannon cart almost connecting there, so that could have been a very close on the guards. Oh, the cannon cart will almost looking like he's connect.
Only onto the guards.
Oh, that was actually very
It
close.
needs to be in the third square up to
Yeah.
be actually connecting into it. Just out of range.
We'll see this once again. The Valkyrie doing a pretty good job against the Royal Hogs, but the damage is still incoming. And the Miner, once again, is doing a lot of damage into itself. And the Poison will finish off the tower. And 991 is what needs to be covered by JTV and Careless. Can they get it done here?
They have a lot of small flying units to defend against it. There's a zap to delete all the bats, but Flying Machine doing a lot of defense too here.
And good E was at the very end, just to get the damage onto all the stray units out there. But we'll see the Royal Hogs starting off another series of offense from the right side this time, and gonna get the Flying Machine to go in against the Valkyrie. And 219, how are they gonna get it from JTV and Careless? Because it really needs to get it done. And 219 will this be enough?
Yeah, Chaos Theory, when they have to focus everything onto the right side, they have to actually use a lot more elixirs to delete that tower just before the overtime. So this push is gigantic coming out from Lewis and Ku.
And this Royal Hog will do a pretty good job of getting the damage through at 11, 15, and
Not bad.
it's pretty good. And you talk about an elixir lead that really translated into a lot of results, but 973 means that it's a lot closer than we think in terms of Ku and Lewis, only having 1245 as well.
So not bad of a trade. Chaos Theory actually defended them really well.
Yeah.
With that, a lot of elixir spent on the left side. Because of the cannon card, I think they can have an effective defense, but they gotta connect their own damage with the poison that's starting now.
Flying Machine coming on both sides, and we're just trying to get any type of damage through. And this cannon card kind of sneaks in,
Connects.
and that will be it. And it's JTV and Careless will get that victory with that poison, with the log helping out. That will surely be the victory that they're wanting. So that cannon card sneaking into that pocket was exactly what they needed, and gets that game 1 victory in a comeback.
Yeah, when you have a tower down, you have to always think about that move.
Yeah.
To have at least some kind of structure or at least a unit, right, ready to go, being deployed into the arena, because suddenly a charge, a bandit, or anything like that could just destroy the tower.
At least you know that the cannon card should be expected if you already saw it from your opponent's deck, and should be always looking towards that surrounding right on the pocket when that can be summoned. Just putting any type of unit up still helps, because the Princess Tower will knock down the shields in time. But if you ignore that completely like they did for the side of Detonation Gaming, this is what happens. The pocket summon of the cannon card does very well. It does destroy the tower in time.
Yeah, not just that, they had amazing defense with it as well. So we go to game number 2. With Chaos Theory leading in a way. Do they keep the same ones? Cannon card, not a bad of a tool.
And it wasn't seemingly a lead for them in the first part of this game. And
Yeah,
then
for
game
sure.
1, it was a losing game for them. But come back into that one and show the vigor to really be resilient to all of this. And we're going to see the golden play from Ku and Lewis, hoping to see a different result this time around.
They have their own Flying Machine, which is a card they love to use from Chaos Theory coming out. Not a good pair. So this one will be deleted by the Mega Minion.
Mega Minion will take care of this Flying Machine. And this Prince is going to be charging towards this giant skeleton. And this Golem will be melted down by the Infernal Tower. And it's a pretty good defense for JTV and Careless to start things off.
Yeah, with the bomb that was just enough. They had extra safety with the guard just in case. But that's for the elixirs now. They actually switched onto the left side. Miner doing a lot of damage there.
We'll see the Miner getting about a couple hundred damage, and that will be down to 2,086 on the left. JTV and Careless really wants to push on both sides, really, after that defense did fall apart. And this Golem now rushing in. This cannon and Giant Skeleton trying to do a good job of stopping this thing through, but it will get that one hit. We'll get the explosion. They're already down to 1982.
No Infernal Tower to deal with this time, man. Actually, the log pushed the Prince Snap to the back, to the side of cannon.
Yeah.
It can actually kind of help to Prince to actually do immediate damage on the cannon there.
Now look at the Sprint that will be charging in once again. Will eat that damage from the Giant Skeleton, death damage, and we'll see the Mega Minion take care of the Miner from the left back side. And this Baby Dragon will take care of the guards, but this Mega Minion on the left side kind of stray alone to see what it can do.
It's only the Mega. This one will just get a snipe.
Ooh, it gets one hit, so ooh,
So
not
late,
the best.
late spawn of the Flying Machine.
A little bit missed decision there, and this Flying Machine will connect onto the tower seemingly, and the Mega Knight is there this time, so not the same scenario. We're going to see a 1382 on the left and 1650 on the left toward the side of JTV Careless, and we'll see the lightning come through.
Ooh, Giant comes in, so the Inferno Tower does not get hit by the lightning.
Lightning Tower.
Good tool.
Lightning was very, very good, and it really was looking towards Inferno Tower in the end, but did not get it, so that was an important call right there. And we will see how this affects the game here, because that golden push was really nullified here.
Yeah, big time. With that Giant Skeleton summon at the clutch timing for the Lightning Spell. Now that they know that Lightning Spell is available, that's going to be another defensive tool needed for Chaos Theory now.
Chaos Theory just needs to wait for that timing where you would think that Detonation Gaming would use that lightning and just put a big unit out there right before it happens. We're going to see lightning right here. Will they get the timing right once again? They get the Inferno Tower this time around, so a little bit better trade.
But only 2 out of the 3 shots they could have done to a lot of other units.
Yeah.
But it comes down to the tower. When they have the poison, it ticks down. 5:15 left.
See a poison on the other end from the side of Chaos Theory. And we are going to look at this log that will finish things off, but all the way through, this miner is still out of here. 302. That's going to be the final count. It's only a couple spells away now.
Yeah, a poison and a shot from a flying machine could have
close.
A golden spawn right on top with the rage. They want to finish it right now.
Just trying to get close enough. Anything would do, and that will be it. The golem gets to the tower, and that's going to be one punch that's needed.
With the lightning spell.
That was what it is. We knew the lightning was coming, but can the golem reach the tower? They didn't invest those 5 elixirs to get another Inferno Tower up, so that might have just cost them for Chaos Theory.
I think they could have waited and actually used the zap onto the golem to kind of stun it just for a second, because they needed extra time to actually do more damage with the poison. That was a really close one, but dropping every spell on top of the golem, having a bridge spawn, was what you need. And seems like the clutch, the end decision from Game 1 and Game 2 actually deciding the factors of who wins the game.
Really did, and kind of a losing game turned into a winning game for both teams, actually. For both of these games now, Chaos Theory winning out in Game 1 where they thought they shouldn't, but doing the same thing for Detonation Gaming, winning out in Game 2. So we're going to Game 3 to see which of the team actually deserves a win.
Final game between the two. Best of 3, so only 1 game. We've seen the cannon card and golem. Lots of flying machines. Early poison with the skeletons.
Very aggressive poison right there. And you're going to see this lumberjack do a pretty good job, but you see most of the units almost die out. This Lava Hound's going to be pushing through from the left side, see what he can get done.
Not the best for a losing crew as well. The rage speeds up the Lava Hound, but it doesn't really work with the pups.
Lightning, I'm sure they need a lightning this time around. Can they have it though? They put up the lightning now and gonna go towards this Infernal Tower, and we will see the bats be the one to finish things off. And this lava pups are not gonna get to the tower in time. Only one of them connecting. Actually, this giant skeleton is gonna get to the tower. Oh no!
It's in range.
That's it.
It was in range already.
That's almost 1,000 damage right on that explosion at 9:13 in this early count here. JTV Carroll is looking pretty happy about that one.
And they can just continue their offense in a similar way, just having not the best tools to actually destroy, get all the baits out, the log bait spells out of there because they want to delete that skeleton and then make your own push.
We'll see if Kuhn and Lewis can recover from this one, because the fact that they took the explosion damage from the giant skeleton, it's gonna be a heartbreaking event. And see one thing to recover from this one, the miner once again not taken care of properly, and this offensive poison once again doing wonders for the side of JTV Careless.
This time a little better of a rage used, I believe, and doesn't really connect to the tower, and for the tower just dropped in. So this giant skeleton, of course, will be actually going away from that zone.
Okay, the Lava Hound does connect, and it's going to be pretty in trouble, but this giant skeleton's making his way.
Yeah, the top tower's gone.
It's abandoning it, absolutely just abandoning the tower now, and just going to go for this trade if they can, but still nothing coming through it, and this is a very bad situation for Kuhn and Lewis. They lose the first tower, but they did not get a tower on the other end.
Good job right at the center. Also having the baby dragon helps a little bit for them as well. But can they come back in time? 40 seconds? Well, they have a lava. They need to make this one a perfect one against the giant skeleton and the Inferno Tower. That's pretty hard to do.
Double lava is going to be the situation where they're looking for a big comeback through, and this lightning is now needed going towards, and it's not even going to use it, so just going to wait for the better timing to have that properly done. And this lightning now comes into play, 793. Will that be enough damage for them to cover through? Because it seems like Detonation Gaming are hoping to get it, but It's 388. It looks seemingly far away.
Oh, good defensive poison. That's
Oh no.
might just do it unless they have something like the double zap. I don't think double zap finishes it. Just one off here.
That's it. 1 second, and that's not going to be good enough for the side of Kuen Lewis. And game 3 coming back to win this one is going to be JTV and Careless from Southeast Asia's Chaos Theory winning out the set 1.
Even the double zap was 20-something off actually. So they needed something like a fireball, instant damage, or lightning at that time, but not have the perfect elixir to delete that tower. They already spent a lot, like double lava, basically everything to go make that attack, but one single poison deleting all the pups.
Really was, and that was very important for Chaos Theory, who just got the win that set 1. And once again, and they're on to a run here where winning at the 2v2 serves a huge kind of promotion into your confidence, because we saw the Japanese teams do it against Korea. We saw Southeast Asian teams do it against Korea. They didn't win too many 1v1s, to be fair, but they won most of the 2v2. And in the end, it was the 2v2 that resulted in the final win for most of the teams.
Yeah, for Jay and Carlos, now they have a 5-2 on their on their duo only. So that's a really, really good record for themselves, and they can move on. And hopefully, with that 1v1, maybe King of the Hill, if we get to it, they can actually tie up with Bren Esports on the first place. That's what they're looking for.
And if you're DentonatioN, I think you would have been worried about the 1v1 more than the 2v2, because Tempura has been struggling in the recent games.
Even
against
Pyrameki.
It really is. I mean, well, who do you put out? If you put out Pyrameki, do you put out Tempura? But you can't just separate Ku and Luz. They've been together since the beginning of Season 1, so it is a troubling situation for DentonatioN when you have to rely now on Tempura to win this game to get you to the King of the Hills, and still no insurance as to whether you're going to win the King of the Hills in the first place. But you have Benzeridel on the left side for Southeast Asia, looking to make this a 2v0 set.
Benzeridel, he's the one with the highlight on Royale League Asia YouTube. That's how good he is. He just has a lot of streaks, a lot of 2-0s in that 1v1, having really good defense. I think Season 2 is even better, just in average, especially for that 1v1 player for each team. In average, just much better compared to Season 1 here.
It is, and Benzeridel, I mean, he's been making highlights week after week, and there's a reason why he does it. He's one of the best players that we have right now in this entire league, and the fact that your 2v2 set has already won towards your favor of your team, Benzeridel, I'm sure he's going to be coming on the set too, really happy about all this.
Joel, we have some time before going to the 1v1. Who would you choose as the best player at the moment from all region? Or if you can choose, or you have a few other choices. You can choose one from each region.
I would definitely choose one from Korea. That's easy to do.
That's easy.
It's
yes.
TNT.
Yes.
I mean, TNT
Very
is literally.
easy to do.
I mean, Expo Master doesn't even seem like he's putting up a challenge against TNT.
No,
TNT
he's not a master anymore.
He's
He
just
does his side.
he's just an expo. He's an expo.
He's an X.
He's an expo. that can be wrong. I mean, we putting it out there. But Expo Master, not playing to the masterful games that he has kind of been used to being referring to. But we don't have time to talk about my predictions, because we are gonna get into set 2.
We'll have time later.
Yes, we do. You're gonna bait me into that one more time when we get there. But Benzeridel, 6.6k trophy count. And we will see what this guy can do against Tempura that will be coming up on the other side.
A really high win rate overall. Everything not that bad, but look at that, as he is oftentimes a playing coach and having a lot of deck choices together.
And he's yawning. He's tired.
He's not just tired. He knows that he can win this. It's not really exciting for him. Just another game of Clash Royale for him, where he can just take it. Whoa, he's up against Benzeridel, but I think that yawning is actually a good sign. Rather a bad sign, being nervous against a really good player.
Well, you can be nervous and still yawn, but we will see.
I guess it's possible.
I know, but Tempura,
Oftentimes I don't recall doing it though.
I mean, Tempura, he's so tired that he can't put his headphones straight up. So, I mean, this guy, I don't know. I mean, Benzeridel is looking like he's just ready to get a stroll in the park once again, just making it pretty easy for himself. But Tempura, what is he thinking? I'm sure he kind of reflects back on his recent results, and that wasn't very good. But coming into this one against one of the best players that we know, Benzeridel, to see what he can do against Tempura here.
Yeah, starting off with the emote. Salutes for both sides. No Royal Hog, no Tornado in this game.
And Benzeridel changed his name to Banzeridel. That's very nice. Just showing how
Here
strong.
we go, Barbarian Hut.
Told you, it's gonna come back in the meta.
Magic Archer?
Well, this comes with
It's coming soon.
an assortment of decks right here, but It's literally the ultimate control deck is what's been recently highlighted in the current meta. And that's what it is. The Royal Ghost is going to be coming in with all these controlling units. Probably the Ice Wiz would come in very soon as well.
Swords against the Fireball.
Rascals.
Swords and swords.
Okay, so an interesting assortment now. Barbarian literally just goes down to the Baby Dragon, basically.
At least the hut, not really too effective, but once you can actually push your own with the zap, perfect
Oh, that
value out of got that 6 out of 9.
Yeah, that hurts quite a bit when you get the Fireball and the Zap for 6 elixirs to get out 9 elixirs for the 3 Muskies. And you're feeling pretty good if you're Tempura on that one.
Yeah, pretty good reflexes on that, and no damage done to any tower, not even a single scratch.
Wow. That's what you get when you get a control deck like you do here. Magic Archer to the right side. He might just regret that one.
Takes a long time for Lava, so I think he wants to set it up with the Barbarians. Yes.
The right side? That's not even going to drag the Lava, I believe. Should be too far away. Just going to go all in push on the right side now. He's not even going to worry about the Lava on the left side. He's just going to go all in on the right.
This one didn't really pair up too well against the Baby Dragon, but he's got his own Rascals. It's going to take a lot of time.
And
the Photo Dragon is the tough one.
Yeah, and the Baby Dragon's still alive. Look at that. Getting massive, massive value. Look at that. It's just destroying everything.
Photo Dragon next to the tower. That's a lot of damage with the pubs.
That's it.
That's tower down.
Tempura, where have you been, boy? Where have you been this whole time losing out games?
He's got the food power, and
oh, man.
that's it. One early Magic Archer.
Well, you know what it is, though. Benzerido, he has the 3 Muskies out, but I'm sure the Fireball is at the ready for Tempura to use that if he wants. Just waiting to get close to the Magic Archer. Probably going to get massive value there.
Yeah, it's exactly 25 seconds left, but he has his own push happening with the Lava.
Yeah, that's going to be the Fireball, and also with the Lava Pups deleting the 2 Muskies on the right side. We're gonna see
double that Rascals onto the left side, but I believe it's already way too late into the game. You lost the tower. We're not having overtime. 6 elixirs, that's not the best value you're looking for. And it's going to be GG being called by Benzerido. Just casually takes that loss, and Tempura, he is back. He's ready to play, and he gets that first game victory. Zap Fireball literally won him the game. Yeah. Having the perfect reflexes. He kind of knew that deck because this deck has been going around with that Barbarian Hunt, with the Magic Archer, with that 3 Muskies. He was kind of expecting it, that's why he had so fast of a reflection, but what a guy here. Still not smiling, so complicated set of emotions that this guy has, and we don't know whether he's happy or sad, because, you know, whenever we think he will be sad at certain situational times, he just yawns, and, you know, whenever he's winning a game and he should be very happy about himself, he just kind of frowns just a little bit, so complex guy that we still need to figure things out from, but Benzerido, he's definitely pissed. After that game one? Yeah, we'll see what happens, as Tempura is still a game away, so he can't really put his guards down right now until he wins the entire set. And he might have to play the King of the Hill as well. The Mortar from Benzerido, that's interesting. Gonna have the Tombstone to defend out the damage. Photo Dragon takes it out, and the Mortar actually connects to the Tombstone. Usually it just gets dragged by the Skeletons, though that was actually not a bad one. Gonna have the Golden Gang do a pretty fantastic job of defending out against this, and the guards will now just be reaching towards the miner, but a little bit misprediction from Tempura on that one. It's a lot harder when you have the 360 around the tower with the Tornado Band in this case. Gonna hit the Mortar once again with the Spear Golems doing a pretty good job of putting out all the damage for it. It's gonna be another Lava Hound for Tempura to see what he can get. Having another cycle with that miner Goblin Gang on the left, that's going to do about 1,000 little more. That's a lot of damage, and even the miner is going to be targeted second. That's a bad situation if you are allowing the Spirit Goblins to have a few more goes at it. 723 on the left now. And the Lava Hound getting taken by 5 Elixir Minion Horde. That's about it. Takes a lot of damage with the Baby Dragon, plus the miner. He has nothing for this. It's actually a tower down with this Baby Dragon health. Or very close to it. But look at the right side, on the top side though. So both players actually going in full offensive, no defense in this game. What's happening? There he is, and the Goblin Gang just at the right time to reel in the Infernal Dragon in time, and Mortar will get one shot off. I thought it would, but it actually doesn't, so we're gonna still see this
stalemate going around, but obviously a huge lead over to Benzerito already, getting both towers essentially.
That 76 is basically gone with just a single log. So Benzer will be focusing on the left, but we see the Rascal split onto the right. As a distraction for the miner.
You can see just abandoning the left tower altogether. We're going to look at this tower onto the left. 503, can he cover it?
And actually Tempura goes to the right side, which is in full health.
Well, I mean, he knows he can't win unless he gets a 2-win advantage in this tower trade, but he has nothing for this mini horde. That's been the problem all game. The Baby Dragon is already summoned onto the left side, and what are you going to do? You can't get 2,000 plus damage with just one Lava Hound, though.
Ooh, the pups are actually doing quite a
Still.
lot of damage, but
Still.
only 27 left on the top Princess Tower, so that's basically game for Benzerito.
Should be, and 27 should be taken care of just by long. Even the miner should be able to get the job done, but the minion horde is there once again. Nothing for the answer in terms of what they're wanting here. 1100 is going to be too far away for 3 seconds left to go. It's not going to get a single tower. That's going to be Tempura throwing the fireball down at the King's Tower, and that will be game for Benzerito to pick up his second game.
Because actually we do count the crown of each game, again, just in case we have a lot of drawing situations. Maybe it's better to have at least one crown even if you lose, but in this case when you actually lost the 2 towers already, well, it was a tough choice. Actually, 2 players actually making a lot of funky decisions, saying, oh, I'm going to have a better end trade of it, and let's just go and attack and no defense.
Seems like a hyper-aggressive plays all around for both players, and we saw that basically when one Baby Dragon connects onto the left tower, a whole load of minion horde connects on the right tower, and neither player is opting to defend, and that's the funny situation for it all.
Yeah, that's actually a better one for Benzer, of course, because Baby Dragon would be a great counter against a minion horde.
Yeah.
Because to lead it with, if lucky, just 3-4 shots. And you always get value. The Baby Dragon survives at the end of it, of course.
We will see if Benzerito can pick things back up, and still on a match point. Can't win this one if he really opts for it. Looking for it. And
Let's look at the skeleton fights. We should zoom into those.
we know the result of it all. One skeleton will kill each other. That's the result
What
of
about the
every
guards?
single
What
skeleton.
about the guards?
And that's a
On
different
top
equation.
of those skeletons.
This will end up in a win for Tempura. Did I see that?
Yes.
Didn't ask for help. He got the help, but he didn't ask for help. The guards are brave as it is. Now we're looking towards, once again, a Princess Tower helping out another foe with the Baby Dragon knocking down the Mega Minion, but surprisingly enough, it's going to be basically lava balloon on both sides. And see what we're going to get.
No balloon for Tempura, only the Baby Dragon and the Inferno Dragon locking
balloon.
onto. Okay, Timstone to drag it away.
Very
That's
nice.
a perfect one, and Inferno Dragon actually locks onto the balloon right
perfect.
after.
I was kind of worried because there was going to be no tornado in that scenario, but the Lava Pups seemingly doing a pretty good decent amount of damage, and this miner is going to continue on the damage with this the Lava Pups doing a very good job, already down to 1154 on the left.
That's a lot done, a lot more done, I should say, with Tempura, because Benzer, I also thought he had a pretty nice defense against all these air units, but Baby Dragon, even though it doesn't really do direct too much damage, it's area damage, plus it has a lot of HP, so it survives and takes a lot of those arrows from Princess.
Yeah, tanking enough to put out little damage, but a lot of it. It's with quantity over quality situation. We will see Lava Hound on both ends. So the Benzerito surprisingly switching things up. Maybe just abandoning the left tower altogether. We'll see what we get on the right side.
See what the focus is. Knew the balloon was coming very soon, so Tempura was waiting with that Inferno. Tombstone is also waiting. Just zap to refresh.
You can see the fireball.
Drags in the balloon.
Okay, that's not a good situation. We'll get one drop. We'll get the second drop as all this is. This is a bad situation
They
for
both wanna.
Bot. Lugan has the
They're
more
3
tower,
crowns.
more damage in the end. No, this is not really going for the 3 crown, but and look at Benzerito already going for the second crown. This is the plan because he already did some damage onto the left tower in that first push, but it's gonna just get one entire tower off of one push on the second push on the right side. Now we're gonna see the balloon once again reaching into the fireball. That's a mistake, and that's gonna get the second drop almost, but we'll get the explosion damage on. That's only gonna be basically one fireball away. That should be game for Benzerito.
And with that game, that's going to be 2-0 for Chaos Theory. That's the end. There's no way of coming back with a perfect health. Princess Tower onto the right bottom for Benzerito. That's going to be a 2-1 reverse set here.
Oh man, Tempura, his sad face is back up again. This is the face I don't want to see. Poor little Tempura. When he's in the situation where he almost won that game through, he thought he might have done it. For that very good first push that came through, but Benzridal making it very strong at the end and representing Chaos Theory with this incredible hat, an incredible logo that's looking so fantastic for what he was able to do, because he lost on that first trade but came back to win that game 3 in the end for.
Yeah, with the balloon, sometimes it's, of course, that has been in time for about a month and a half, I would say, with that knockback added onto a lot
The
of
fireball.
the Gent fireball and a lot of those air units against the air units. It's actually pretty hard. Once you time it late, you actually drag in or to the side. It actually helps the opponent.
It's like when you patch to help you out against the balloon, but
that's why the skills come in.
It is the skill gap does widen just a little bit, because the whole point of the fireball knocking back the balloon was that you put the fireball a little bit in front of the balloon so that it knocks it back, so you buy a lot more time to melt it down in time. But when you kind of just put it right behind the balloon, it drags it closer to your tower.
Of course, it was a little harder with the lava hound actually pushing the balloon to the side oftentimes, because the balloon's of course faster in travel. I think he was thinking that it was behind the lava, and then it just traveled to the side, and then it got the hit onto the side, and that's what happened both of the times actually.
Both times, yeah.
Yeah, so it's not having some luck in there, but of course that push was going to be very powerful anyhow. That was most of I think he was just holding 4 elixirs at the time, just dropping that fireball in a rush. That's what made it happen.
Tempura, we thought, hey, he might be making a return after winning that first game in a very positive manner, but comes back into game 3, loses game 2, loses game 3 altogether, and Benzridal once again showing his strength as to how good of a player that he is in this 1v1 sets. And we're going to go on to, obviously, the match 2 now concluding. Probably going to get to an interview very, very soon, but I mean, once again, Chaos Theory winning out means that Southeast Asia 2-0 on the day, with Japan losing all the games
already?
so far.
That's crazy. So we have a tied first place for Southeast Asia already. Of course, HQ plays tomorrow, so that's going to be the end result today.
Yep.
Bren Esports, Chaos Theory, they are kind of tied up. Of course, we do have difference in game scores, so we're going to have the difference in the first place, second place, but still 7-3. That's pretty high up. They're almost, I guess they caught Pono Sports, who's at 7-2. But
Sure.
We'll see some changes happening starting tomorrow. Of course, we do have one more match left today.
We do have one of the stronger teams out there with GameWith. But let's hear from the interview from Chaos Theory to see what they have to say.
Here comes with the interview with Chaos Theory. First, congratulations to you all.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you, 谢谢。对，那接下来呢，想问一下，就是刚刚在上一盘比赛里面呢，那 Bren Esports 呢是说他们觉得你们是一个非常有竞争力的队伍，觉得是一个很强的劲敌。那你们有没有要什么话想要对 Bren Esports 或者是对你们的粉丝说的
？During the last match, Bren Esports said that you are quite a competitor and challenging team to them. So what do you say about that? Or would you have anything to say with your fans as well?
Tadi Bren Esports waktu di interview bilang ya tim kita berat kalau dilawan. Ada pemikiran atau ada komen?
Pertama-tama untuk kami tim Chaos Story, teman-teman saya juga berkata kalau bagi kita semua tim berat, dan seperti yang Bren Esports katakan, bahkan menurut kita untuk tim SEA semuanya itu hebat, untuk Chaos Theory, Bren, Kicks, dan AQ. Jadi kalau menurut kita itu setara semua, bahkan juga tim Jepang dan Korea semua juga hebat, dan kita hanya selalu optimis saja sehingga kita dapat mendapatkan hasil yang terbaik dengan kerja sama bersama dan saling percaya.
We're thankful that they said us about us, but at the same time we think that Bren Esports as well as the other teams in Southeast Asia are all strong teams, and that includes Japan and Korean teams as well. So we're just trying to be optimistic, just practice as hard as we can and keep winning.
那非常感谢 Bren Esports 这样子给我们这样的评论啊。那同时我也觉得说，其实 SEA 里面的话，包含 Bren Esports 一样，我们其实都还蛮竞争，都实力蛮坚强的。同时，像日本的还有韩国的也都是如此。那唯一能做的就是尽力的练习，然后想办法保持乐观。
好的，那一样在这边的访问也是恭喜 KRC 获得了胜利，然后在这边的话也是要先进一段精彩 highlight 休息一下，比赛马上就回来喽。
That's going to be it with Chaos Theory. Pretty satisfied about their victory. Gets one question, I believe.
Yes. That's what I was thinking too.
When it takes a long time to transfer that question.
After translation.
You know, when the delivery takes a long time, you have to be patient. You got to be satisfied with what you're getting. I mean, you got one delivery. I'm happy with that package.
Yeah, it was pretty quality delivery. I'm
Sure.
I believe in the coach. We talked to him when he came down to Korea with OGN. He's a really great coach, taking care of all the players. And that took some time, but one quality question is all we need.
We're arguing the quantity versus quality all day today, and we're getting the quality over quantity this time around with the interview question. But, I mean, whether it's quantity or quality, it doesn't matter because Southeast Asia looking very, very strong now with 2 wins on the board against the Japanese sides.
Huh? Well, that's really good, and they wanted to continue, and they will have one more match left, of course. 6 more matches left in the weekend, but last time it was a slight win for Southeast Asia as well.
Yeah.
Japan, I'm pretty sure they want to take it back this weekend.
I mean, GameWith, I think they do have a pretty good chance of getting it done, but we will see if this third-place team, once one of the best teams that we have in this entire league, but GameWith is now only a Tier 3 team in Japan, and we will see if they can do it against the bottom team of Southeast Asia, which kicks.
Yeah, because they have been struggling in that 2v2, and Southeast Asia are really strong in 2v2.
And we're going to see if they can do it once again. We're going to go to another short break, be back with the final series of the day with Kicks and GameWith, so we'll be right back. Welcome back everyone to CRL Asia Season 2. We're back with the last series of the night, and we are looking at Southeast Asia possibly on their way to complete domination over Japan. They've already won the first 2 series, and it's looking like Kicks might be the third team to do it again.
Well, Kicks, let's see if it's possible. They're the last standing team in the Southeast Asia, and GameWith, they are very strong. Of course, third place is for Japan, but individual standings and the individual skill level, I think, in this game, even though they have a lot of meta choices with the variants of the decks right now, I think overall, I do have to give it for GameWith right now.
Could be, and might be the first win that we see from the Japanese side today, but they are up against this team with Kick's team, DentonatioN and Martin covering the 2v2 stage, with Dylan now coming into the 1v1 slot where Lampo has had his own little mix of struggles here and there, and now it's going to be time for the team captain with Dylan to come on the line and to really show by example.
Yeah, which he has come in a little bit, but on the other side we have GameWith, Amaterasu, Yuhiro, KK, and Zeros.
No Shun.
No Shun tonight, as they will have KK with that 1v1.
So what's wrong with Shun? I think he's been playing alright. I mean,
maybe with their conditions and physical conditions, but no Lampa, no Shun. So both of the aces, I would say, for that 1v1 is that happens oftentimes, are actually not playing today.
The aces that we previously knew are no longer here, at least for today's game. And the other bands are coming through. The Golems for DentonatioN and Martin up against the Tornadoes for both 2v2 and 1v1 for GameWith. And we're going to see the Goblin Barrel band from Dylan. So what does that mean going into this next one?
Well, a lot of the Japanese players still use a lot of log bait. I think that's the reason why we have the Goblin Barrel ban for that 1v1. Tornado just banned the entire day today, and we're not going to see any Tornado tonight. Maybe happening tomorrow, but Golem ban just screams out for that Royal Giant, which actually we did not see today. Yeah. Only the Giant Skeletons happening sometimes.
So without that Golem, we know the second priority in the 2v2s for all the teams right now would have to be that Royal Hawk that will come through. So look at DentonatioN and Martin. These guys have been fantastic in the 2v2s. I think they lost a lot more 1v1s, but in the 2v2s, these two guys have been very, very trustworthy on this.
Yeah, look at that score. 5-0 and 5-1. That's how strong
Incredible.
they are. And that's also why they were able to bring a lot of the wins together.
Well, look at this other side. Amaterasu and Yuhiro not having the best results for their own end. Amaterasu having 3-1 is fine, but 3-0 is not as many wins as the other side for DentonatioN and Martin, and it just goes to show you that Amaterasu and Yuhiro, they have the winning records in kind of the proof that they can do well here, but DentonatioN and Martin, they've been looking pretty strong. They haven't lost many games. See if that happens now.
Yeah, that's also true. And because GameWith has double the duo, they also have KK and Chun switching out from time to time. I think it depends on who they're up against, what kind of deck they feel confident, more confident in playing against the opponent. I think that has to be the decision. But with the Golem ban, we're going to see a lot of those air units once again. Seems very likely in this case.
Definitely could be the Lava Loon deck that has found a little bit of success for some of these teams in today's matches, and we're all going to be looking towards GameWith to see what they're going to be playing without the Tornado. Now with the Golem being banned now, what are their second option? Of course, I'm sure the Golem was definitely in the priorities for GameWith, but with that being banned now, they have to think of different options now.
At least having one of those decks prepared, but Golem being banned out now. With the Tornado, but there are lots of other options. Lots of air unit combinations. And lots of structure combinations. We saw a lot of tombstones today. And this may actually be not a game with the bomb tower. That's risky when the Golem's banned out.
We will see it. And Martin, DentonatioN, what are you thinking of when you ban that Golem? What are you trying to bring? Is it the Lava Hound? Is it the Royal Hawks? Look at the Baby Dragon that starts, so might just kind of hint to us that it's going to be a Lava Loon deck and have the Mini P.E.K.K.A take care of the miner just finally here.
Mini P.E.K.K.A actually goes really fast. Sometimes you do have to defend against the tower, but in this case with the Inferno Dragon against the Baby Dragon as well.
Wow.
It's going to take out a lot.
Did you really need double Infernal Dragons in that right side?
Maybe you just want to drop something right on top, but that's poison value we're talking about from GameWith.
Lightning will take care of the character, but all these overspending from DentonatioN and Martin for right now, and we'll see if this really comes back to haunt them.
I think they wanted to have a pack or something like a giant in the front, but once that poison kicked in, they just swapped out to plan B, just having the miner and the poison instead.
Okay, this bowler and the giant skeleton coming from the left side doesn't look good. From the side of DentonatioN and Martin, and obviously the Inferno Dragon will allow to just make a recharge, and the mini P.E.K.K.A is there on both sides actually, just getting away from the miner as well.
Inferno Dragon surviving for pretty long of a time. They actually, yes, it does get the baby dragon out there. So against these small guards with one single attack from miner, and the mini actually connects.
Oh, the mini connects, and that's going to be a lightning added on to that. So 1373 on the left. Oh, the little puny zap from Amaterasu and Yui here. That's cute.
Says we took that much. Take this.
That's actually really cute. And we will see the bowler on the left side trying to put out a counterattack. But DentonatioN and Martin, we thought they overspent their elixirs in the early game. And just that one swipe for the mini P.E.K.K.A makes all the difference.
Here comes that Royal Giant. Now coming in straight to the bomb tower.
Without the giant skeleton though, that's what you have to remember. The Royal Giant will not be surviving for very long, especially with that mini P.E.K.K.A chopping things down. The mini P.E.K.K.A is just serving so much value right now.
Pretty good, even against the damage. The bomb tower did damage to both of those big units coming down the bridge. As long as they don't make the mistake of getting hit by the mini P.E.K.K.A once again, they're good to go as a defense right now, because their Inferno Dragon is actually working really well every time.
Well, he is, and we will see Amaterasu and Yui Hero successfully defend against this miner, and we'll look at this giant skeleton. I'll be rushing in with the Royal Giant, see if he gets to the bomb tower in time, because he's getting heavily damaged now, and we'll see what happens for all this.
And after the explosion, the Royal Giant comes through. There's a Inferno Dragon actually
Another
locking
bomb
onto it just in time, so that's not as much damage that I thought. Still, the poison actually got a hit onto the tower, not bad.
Okay, this lightning that came through, the lightning, the fireball is there as well, but the guard taking care of the miner from the back. That's pretty good defense for Amaterasu and Yui Hero. I'm just going to see what they can continue on here on this counter offense, but really not going to get too much from it.
Royal Dragon actually takes out the baby dragon once again. Getting no connection with the guard, unluckily there.
Lightning is just going to be a lightning cycle to see if they can get any type of connection through, and any type of hit will do, and the 503 is going to be not too far away from a win from the side of DentonatioN and Martin, but looking towards the giant skeleton that already has been killed out, but no death damage going to any of these units right now in the bomb tower once again. Very nice.
Another bomb tower when they want to push with the cannon cart. Not even close in this game. Fireball plus lightning should be able to finish this game.
That's it. 196 and one more medium tier spell. Should be able to get the job done. Just going to wait things out.
Another lightning.
Okay, just talking about overspending from the beginning to the end. And DentonatioN and Martin will get that first win. You were talking about possibly GameWith being that first Japanese team to win out in today's matchup, but 2v2 already the first game. So a little bit early to call.
I said it before the matchup that they're having a lot of struggles on that 2v2.
Well, you know what it is though. The Kicks, you know, it's really early to call. It's just one game win, but you know, it does show us that they're on the top of things. This game one looked pretty convincing as to how they won, and kind of just shows to us that they might just do it again in game two.
And in terms of the units they use, the placement and the lightning spell, which has been just very trendy nowadays, especially for 2v2, and the mini P.E.K.K.A, the units, the cards they brought into this 2v2, seems a lot in the meta where Amaterasu Yui Hero, it seems like they want to bring something that's already pretty old, weeks ago.
The meta is moving fast, G-Cliff, and we know that the teams need to keep up, and players need to keep up, and Amaterasu Yui Hero, they tried their best to keep up, but where are they right now? They're on the losing end, and we're going to game two, just kind of wondering if they really did catch up.
Yeah, and when you lose, just let those Hawks out. That's what you do.
Talking about catching up, and we're going to see the Giant Skeleton with the Royal Giant. That didn't work for Amaterasu Yui Hero. Going to be attempted here.
Yeah, the opposite. Not a single shot onto the tower. A double Inferno Dragons if they want to make this work really nicely.
Oh, that's actually a fantastic lightning. Getting away 2 Inferno Dragons. And oh my goodness.
It's almost too good.
That is too much value right there. And the Goblin Barrel comes through, and you talked about DentonatioN. Wow, you got the arrows there.
They used a lot of spells.
But, you know, if they didn't have the arrow, that would have been a lot of damage for DentonatioN. Talking about damage. That Valkyrie was perfect.
Yeah, nice placement of the Valkyrie, and unluckily for the barrel, if you would the split
Yeah.
and the try. That could have been a better, at least a few steps into the tower.
Conventional summons would have done them a lot better. And just counting on the fact that they probably didn't have the second set of arrows and they wanted to go for that one. And you're going to see another set of pretty heavy pushes once again to lead. The Royal Giant going with this Giant Skeleton to see what it can make out of it.
Too many elites and giants and all the royals.
I do agree. Gonna get 3 hits. Very nicely done.
Yeah, Lava getting taken out already, and they have defensive poison in this game, so all the pups gone in front of Dragon. Gone in a few more seconds. So not too bad of a trade for both sides.
Better for DentonatioN and Martin, I would have to say. The Giant Skeleton and the Royal Giant happening very nicely to get a couple of hits to the tower. Any type of hit will help, and gonna get the arrows for this next one probably, but just gonna eat up the damage here.
There's a few scratches every single time. It's what matters, and as long as you get few hits with that double barrel, I think DentonatioN team, they're pretty happy about it. So they got the lightning spell. That's what's. Oh, there's a balloon now.
Okay, the Lava Loon finally coming into completion, and they have the bomb tower of their own, and it's gonna take a couple of drops for that to come through. And Infernal Tower, that is exactly what you need if you are DentonatioN and Martin, not allowing the balloon to get anywhere close to that tower, and gotta look for a counter on the other end.
One goblin getting a single scratch onto the tower. So the second barrel should be coming soon, but they have the arrow. They're saving it just in case, and also the zap, I believe.
At this now, the arrows now coming through. It's actually gonna be the zap. It's gonna be the choice being implemented. And
Yeah, zap from DentonatioN. Actually, they wanted to get one more extra stab there.
wow, double Lava Hounds, and we're gonna get one balloon at least in play.
Nice poison and lightning just in time should take most of those out.
Oh, that's actually good. And the second set of lightning, that's, I mean, if it works, then do it. But you know, we do say that's a pretty big overspending of DentonatioN and Martin on that defense. See if they're gonna get
Also
punished
the
for all
minor
this.
connects at the bottom, so down to 600, 500s now.
Talked about overspending 2 set of lightnings for that push, but was it all worth it? We're gonna find out soon enough, because we're going for another push with the miner. Barely able to connect, and we're gonna get this goblin to connect as well. So, oh, getting 2 stabs.
zaps.
That's it. Oh, double lightning to finish things off, and DentonatioN Martin gets the finish and gets the win in the set 1, winning at the 2v2 against Japan once again.
That's clean to 0 with the barrel. You think you can just defend it with just a few of your units surrounded around your tower, but when there's lightning, when there's a zap, it stuns all the units together, and that's just enough time for an extra stab.
And having only 1 arrow, that was a problem from the deck selection from the side of GameWith, and they're going to lose out that one. And now we're going over to KK against Dylan. I wouldn't say Dylan is the strongest 1v1 player we have in this league, but it is up against KK and not Shun. If it was Shun, I would definitely say that GameWith would bring this up to a King of the
You're
Hill.
a big Shun fanboy.
I am since day one.
Even when KK has better results on stats.
It doesn't matter. It's not about the numbers. It's about how you play the game. And, you know, KK, it's fantastic. I mean, but can he get the win against Dylan to really bring this team back over to King of the Hills, or will Dylan be able to finish the set off?
I think that tells a lot about what's going to happen. And KK, maybe after a win tonight, maybe he can just be a stable 1v1 as Shun does not have the best record so far. Of course, King of the Hill, a little different story as with that 3-2.
Yeah.
But he lost both sets on that 1v1. Maybe he's not feeling confident. He's switching into 2v2 a lot. So that tells a lot about the team, what they want to do, what they have to do in the future. But certainly not really working well for the team. But on the other side, Dylan, he has been the ace of the team starting from the Season 1. So that's going to tell a lot of experience. So as long as he gets the right deck into it, I think he should be feeling fine for it.
Well, he's been definitely the starter for that 1v1 from Season 1,
Yep.
but ever since Lampo came into this team and has done wonders for him. But, you know, his recent performances haven't been the best. It wasn't the old Lampo where we got really hyped him about the super rookie coming out of nowhere and just making numbers out of people. And in Season 2, he's started off pretty well, but in the middle parts of the season, Lampo hasn't been producing the results that he's looking for. And now Dylan's going to be coming out, hoping that he's a lifesaver, kind of bring it back to the classic of where Kicks found their early success in Season 1, and see if this worked out again.
Yeah, Lampo's not even in the first player. He's just not in today's match at all. And that's same for Shun. So Zeros as a fourth player. The Rock, who actually does not come out too many times, as a fourth player in the team. So if they go into the King of the Hill, I think GameWith overall has a better choice, a better chance of winning actually the entire set. But Kicks, they had a 2-0, and they can just finish it off with that set 2. That's if GameWith actually goes to that King of the Hill. Let's see if that happens at all.
Well, I mean, Dylan, he needs to beat out KK and to really make this a match point and make this a quick series on 9. And only match 1 brought us to the King of the Hill so far. The match 2 was seemingly a all-out Chaos Theory for their 2-0 victory against Detonation Gaming. So with GameWith kind of holding their 3rd place position right now in Japan, I think they really want to show a lot, saying that this 2-0 defeat of that 2v2 set they just had with Amaterasu and Yurihiro is not telling the full story. I'm sure KK really wants to come in and tell them they can definitely win out this one.
Yeah, here comes Dylan. Long time no see, friend.
Sure.
As he bans out the Goblet Barrel, which has been used by Kicks in their own 2v2, so that's a little surprising.
But it is a 1v1 where the log bait plays a lot more different composition and the deck composition is a lot different, but KK, he's going to be banning out the Tornado, just thinking that he can really bring out what he needs for his team. Saying hi to the camera. We're saying hi back. Hi, KK.
I think that's exactly what he needs to give it out to the fans. So get ready for that 1v1.
Gave me the lobby music in my ears. You gave me that? That's. Can we listen to that just for a little bit?
Have the right music. Yes. And we're in
Oh,
game.
there we go. Somehow. That was interesting. Getting from the lobby music, getting the play button on that 1v1, and we are in the game.
We know exactly the sounds of Clash Royale. That's a 1v1 if you go straight in. You have to wait for that dun.
Second button.
Dun, dun, dun. That's a 2v2.
Yeah, you got the music all up in your ears, and got the log to start things off with the zap action. So a lot of overspend in terms of cycling through that first set of skills here.
Misplacement, but that's not too bad. But we'll take, of course, extra damage from the miner. She does a lot to begin with, 524.
Well, KK has already spent 12 elixirs in this game. There's only 6 and 9 now from Dylan, and slow start. You are looking towards his own side, and Explosion will take care of the minions, but Mega Minion will not be surviving through. He's going to have the guards all to one side, will be logged away, so you would have to be cautious if you're Dylan. You saw the log being the first card being played. I'm sure he knows back to cycles. I'm sure he should have known that.
He's holding the last 2 question mark cards on his own. Royal Giant used very early. No structure to defend against the straight shots to the tower now.
Okay, good Prince placement. Just to get the damage onto the Ewas instead, and now we're going to see a pretty heavy push with the Giant actually timed perfectly on that one, and the Zap once again doing wonders to go up against this Infernal Tower, and look at this, KK has an enormous push rushing in. That's it, that's the tower. There's no way he can defend against that.
Even the Minion, and the Mega Minion actually doing quite a lot of damage in that trade.
Dylan, we're good to have you back, but you just lost the tower in the first segment there. I mean, look at that one.
Actually pretty hard to defend against all the air units. He doesn't really have too many anti-air once he loses the fire spirits. Once it's not effective against all the minions and even the Mega Minion together. What else does he really have? His own Mega Minion, that's about it.
I like that he brings out the 2v2 deck in a 1v1 scenario for Dylan, having the Giant Skeleton and the Royal Giant. I don't know if it works that well in 1v1.
It feels like the situation where you just bring your 2v2 into the 1v1. Sometimes there's a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, I've done it in Classic game, but this is CRL Asia.
I've done it in multiple times, different choices.
Yeah, it's going to get 1 hit, 2 hits, but you don't have a second Royal Giant for a very long time, Dylan. So what are you going to do if you have no win condition? You're just going to summon Giant Skeleton at the bridge, hoping to have...
Lots of skeletons, lots and lots of skeletons with the shield, with the bomb, everything
over.
On those skeletons.
It's over.
It's all about the skeletons here, Joel.
Dylan, oh man, what are you doing? You brought the wrong deck.
That's literally how it feels, but he actually did have a really nice push with the Royal Giant. Royal Giant just having straight shots down to 700.
I mean, the Giant Skeleton, the Royal Giant works in 2v2 because you have 2 players to split that 6 elixir cost for both units, but when you have to spend 12 elixirs on your 1 push, and if it doesn't work out to almost get half the tower, I don't consider it a success every time.
The Skeleton, I think, was less of an effective too. I think he could have just tossed down the Royal Giant alone. They used that Giant Skeleton as a defensive tool against the actual Giant and the Prince coming down from KK, which didn't really pair up really well for Dylan.
Well, let's hope Dylan click the right deck this time, because the last deck was seemingly questionable. So
Yes. See, the second one with the tombstone. It could still be a 2v2.
come on, Dylan.
Just trolling here, but he's got a lava hound now.
Gonna bring the Lava Hound. This works in 1v1. We've seen it many, many times. And good old Bochem from Nova Esports will be happy to see this one because he knows that this is not a 2v2 deck. And we'll
Ice
see.
with the guards. Does this scream out for Three Musketeers?
No, just gonna cycle through just so he can get the Infernal Tower out. It's a very good choice and has a good defense for all these incoming supporting units. You see with the Mega Minion just trying to help out. There's nothing helping out with it.
With the E-Wizard, this Royal Giant will be a little less effective in this case once again.
You won.
Not a bad, good fireball, but it was not enough to take out everything, so he's even willing to use the zap.
Gets 3 hits, but what are you gonna get for this 3 hits? Do you have anything for this graveyard here? Uh-oh.
Get ready to use the minions
Wow,
all the way
that
up
was
to
actually
that.
really good.
Yeah, as guards just in place, but still to take a lot of damage from all the skeletons.
Yeah, the guards came in a little bit late. I mean, kind of understandably, he didn't have any elixir. Dylan literally spends. He's not afraid to spend elixirs on offense. We've already seen that. Spend the Lava Hound and the Royal Giant in one push.
He wants to have it. The lava.
The Lava Hound will come through, and the guards will be taken care of by the Mega Minion.
A few hits onto the tower, that's 3. Already a few hundred lost.
1067, 1431 that he has to knock down, and he has no lightning for this Infernal Tower. What he's gonna do? Just gonna probably zap it?
Real push happens with the Royal Giants, but already all the air units has been melted down, so that's a lot less of a powerful tool. Really nice fireball though.
Oh, and the nice zap to get away from that Mega Minion. We'll get 1 hit. Not what you wanted with all those elixirs used. I would say that this defense is looking very, very
He does
tough.
have an early guard this time, so that's going to be a little bit of a help. And the minion,
You
he
say.
needed, but the
You do
poison
say.
just in time, and the Mega Minion will get the last hit onto the tower. 25 seconds left. Seems like we have a winner, Joe.
I think we had the winner ever since that first push from game 1 happened in the set 2. And Dylan, you're spending a lot of elixirs on offense, and you have no insurance on defense when the counterattack comes from KK. And it's happened in game 1, it's happening in game 2, and clearly he's not going to win by this kind of playstyle.
I understand why you're being critical, but comes to a time when you have to show up on stage. I think he wasn't really in the mood together. That first 2 games, game 1 and 2, and KK takes straight 2 wins. It seemed a little too easy for him. That's certainly true.
I mean, all he had to do was defend, and no matter how many elixirs he had, as long as he had surviving units, he knew he was confident on the counter offense because he knew Dylan had no elixirs to defend. And it happened in game 1 when he summoned out the giant skeleton along with the Royal Giant and got 12 elixirs. Only do about a couple, 3 hits maybe onto the tower, and that's about it. And what?
I know
Wait.
what happened.
Okay, elaborate, please.
He didn't read the patch notes.
Oh, you thought it was still the 6.5 time Royal Giant. You're saying that.
Yes, which actually outranges the Inferno Tower, so it could have been better in that case.
But
a lot.
the problem was, even if he didn't read the patch notes, maybe that was a situation.
Stop it.
Even if it was,
Stop it.
even if it was, he played the Royal Giant in game 1 and found out it doesn't shoot as early anymore. So what happened to it? And he still played the Royal Giant in game 2. What's up with that one?
Wrong deck choice, I would say. He tried again with that Royal Giant. Once it doesn't work, sometimes you do want to stick with it, but this time it just certainly does not work. That was a hard deck choice.
I don't think I've ever seen a Lava Hound and a Royal Giant deck in 1v1.
Even Paper Thin does not have one. I would actually agree with the Sparky.
Sparky might work. Yeah, Sparky does work.
Royal
at
Giant
times.
Sparky
Yeah,
works
sure,
pretty
sure,
well.
sure. But the Lava Hound does not take care of the units in the front of the Royal Giant. It just kind of goes on its own way. It tanks the units, but with the Infernal Tower, it just melts down. And the Royal Giant doesn't kill units either. So you got 2 units which add up to 13 elixir cost, which does no unit damage, and what was he thinking? I don't know the composition of that deck. I just don't understand it.
We will try to see what happens. Maybe he was just expecting a weak spot in the opponent, maybe having no structure at all.
Sure.
If lucky, in that case, I think he could have destroyed tower at least in the first game, especially because that was a tough one for KK to actually defend against in the early game. The second game with the Inferno Tower, a lot of counter tools. It was really hard to manage to bring a very similar deck with the Royal Giant once again.
Kind of refers, me to kind of track back to what Lampo did, even when he was playing bad, and don't think he played as bad as this.
I can summarize that 1v1 pretty nicely.
Okay, let's
in
do
a
it.
question.
Here, in a
Where is Lampo?
He's not even in the bench. He's at home. So, not the place you want to be when
Maybe he's sick.
Maybe.
Don't have an idea
Sure,
of that.
maybe that's a problem, but it is kind of a storyteller, and to be fair, that he has been playing worse than he has usually used to. But with Dylan coming in the lineup, we thought that the classic Dylan from Season 1 that has really put up a good fight against a lot of these opponents, we'll do it again. But, man, I didn't expect that one.
Yeah, I had some expectations of Dylan, how he was going to play, but certainly we found him, of course, certainly not in the meta, I would say, for that 1v1 trade. He's been playing few 2v2s, yes, with The Rock, the Matin, and Lampa all together. Not really having the best result, 1-3 set score, but that's about it. Not really playing too many. He lost against Danny 2-0, lost against Ten God and the King of the Hill, so a lot of losses. And ever since he didn't really play for the team too much, just in the roster, active roster, the entry for the day, as a fourth player, but that's about it. And after seeing these two games, they will bring another question and say, "Where's Lampo?"
I mean, that deck, I could use it if I choose Smurf at the 1,000 to 1,500 trophy range.
No,
or
you don't even have all the cards.
I don't think you're right. I can't even do
Yeah,
it. So
you have to go into the higher arena to use it.
there's absolutely no use for this deck then.
There's one use.
Find one. There you go. What is it?
Royal Giant Challenge.
There is no Royal Giant Challenge. What are you talking about? It's a touchdown challenge right now in 2v2. That's the only thing that's up in the air. 10 gems to get into that guy. So be sure to go into the events page and you will be able to access a 2v2 touchdown. It is not the Royal Giant Challenge. None of that happening with the fake news for G-Cliff.
Usually when we have a new card, we have a challenge with that card. But
yeah. The Royal Giant.
But maybe because it came with the giant goblin,
Mhm.
didn't really get a chance.
No, it didn't. Royal Giant has been out for a very long time.
That
There's
should be the new challenge.
Well, it took us a long time to
Uh-oh.
get to King of the Hills, and we are finally here. Dio Stitch going up against Zeros for the first set, and Dylan and the... Are you serious? You're putting out Dylan and the Rock?
Mm-hmm.
What about Martina? I will guarantee you...
Did Martin ever play 1v1? No, and just two King of
Really?
the Hill 1-1, yes. So I think that is the reason why
Okay.
he's just did not play too many 1v1s. He's paired up with Dio Stitch all the time in that 2v2, and that's the reason. And Dio Stitch, though, he has been playing a lot of King of the Hill at least.
Well, won one, lost two. And isn't that worse than Martin? He said he played two and won one, didn't he?
Oh, that's set score though.
Set score, okay. No, but King of the Hills doesn't have sets.
No. I'm out of my mind. But
It's
against
okay.
Fav Gaming, he won against Donnie.
Okay.
Against Fav Gaming, so that tells
Donnie's
a lot.
pretty good.
Yeah, and lost against Rad. I don't know about that one, but
That is fine, but
but it's only one game for King of the Hill, so anything could happen. Just a single game instead of best of 3. But Zeros, of course, on the other side, I would say the fourth player for the team and fits the spot, not really playing too many times.
now, I'm starting to complain that Dylan's getting too much playtime, despite his performance in his set 2. And I don't know. Maybe we should expect that Dio Stitch should do well for kicks, but I think you might be right, Jake. We might just get the first Japanese win today with GameWith.
We shall see about that. Dio Stitch, he could have a streak. Same for Zeros. Let's just count on both players who wins.
Zeros has done well against the Korean side last week, but who doesn't have a good side against the Korean side? So we'll find out about that one. And the Bandit will be rushing through. It's going to be rushing right to this cannon cart. Gotta get the Royal Ghost to eventually die out to the remains of this cannon cart to start this game off. the zaps knock out the fire spirits with each zap that the Ewis puts out.
Yeah, this here is double. It's easy. Veteran placed all the way in the back, so this time he doesn't really have any kind of setup. So he just wanted to get that out of the way.
Right at the time, it doesn't explode right at the furnace, but still will have the defense coming in from Dio Stitch, and we will get the first graveyard of the game, and have the minions take care of most of the duties here, and the bandit will get the charge.
It's about 1,000, a little more than that.
Yeah.
Just with 3 elixirs. Talk about value here.
Well, I mean, the Royal Ghost and the bandit, if left alone, does a lot of damage, and even with those minions not taking care of it, Dio Stitch, I wonder what he's thinking at this moment.
So Zero's how he's using the battle ram is not to connect to the tower, but actually to delay the attack of Dio Stitch, so he can get better damage with the poison sometimes, or a better setup for himself.
And look at the cannon card as it connects through. The Royal Ghost will be able to take care of that charge, and just die out to the remains of the cannon card, but just mission successful on that defense. And let's see him coming for the very strong counter offense now. We're going to see this minion, see what he can do.
So far, Zeros looks really good in this game, as he had some bad games in history, but in this game right now,
It gets a charge, and that's it actually gets a
late
charge on the
furnace.
furnace. So.
Yeah.
So I saw the charge come through the animation, but the HP stayed the same. So it was the furnace that soaked up all the damage there. So very nicely done by Dios.
With the cannon card, with the handed charge, that's going to be just deleted. If the units drive right in the middle, not going to be too much of a help, but the barrel will actually help a lot in this case.
Double Ewis supporting this barbarian push, and it's going to get a couple of damage there. And the Royal Ghost will be there as well. So all these coming through, it's going to be Royal Ghost summoning another.
Bridge spam coming out from Zeros. He's just spamming everything at the moment.
Waste another 4 elixir just on that furnace, and it's going to be soon enough where we're going to get something from this play, and sudden death now does occur, and again, from all this Ewis, it's still going to be breaking down this furnace, and Ewis comes from the other side. See what we can get. The bandit comes through. It's going to get the charge out to the Vasco boy, but that's not what you want, and then it will quickly die out.
Yeah, I think he's feeling very rushed at the moment. Yes, that's how you started. When you have the minions guarded against the graveyard, you knew that was coming very soon. Electro was not the best one to defend against it, but you want to land your barbarians onto the towers now.
The minions will help out with that, and the cannon card will get charged through by the bandit, and the minions will help it kill out, and this might be the end here. The bandit is still rushing in, and there's still a lot of units coming through. Even the battle ram is gonna make the charge, and that will be game, and 277 looking too far away, and that's gonna be it. Just one more spell, that should be good enough, and Poison will seal the deal. Zeros will get the win over Dio Stitch.
And in that game, actually, bridge spamming after when you think you have the lead, when you spam a little bit too much against the Fire Spirit, and when they're all clumped up together, Fire Spirit, they will just come in and do that area damage. And he was almost losing the lead because he was spamming a little too much, but once they got the cool back with the Battle Ram all the way coming from the back, that he had a very good momentum in that game.
Dio Stitch tried that deck that's really popular right now in the meta with the Bar Barrel, and it really goes well with the Tombstone, but conventionally, but he swaps it out for the Furnace, so it was an interesting trade out, and we thought that it might work out, but that one elixir cost seems to go a long way when you're trying to get that same value, but with one more elixir, it's a little bit expensive. And gonna lose out this first game. We will see if Dylan comes in the second game, and we'll find a little bit of success, because still confused as to the decision making of the players. They decide to send out for kicks, sending out Dylan in the Raw.
Yeah, just going back to the game, as Dio Stitch, not that he had late reactions making those structures or deploying the units, he was just losing the elixir trade. That's why he was waiting for the elixirs to drop down his units, not that he was late for everything.
Here he is, Dylan winning one set of 1v1, but losing 2. And he's back with the King of the Hills.
Hey Joe, let's drop it. Dylan, he certainly did not look convincing. The opposite of convincing against KK. That was possibly the most one-sided 1v1 we had the entire season. but
Well, you can make a recovery.
he just needs a single game to change
It
things.
is true, but
Yes.
we
Once you have the right deck against your opponent,
we will see.
I think that's all we need here from Dylan. And he's certainly got experience.
We're back to the lobby music.
And we're gonna know exactly when we go into the game that soon.
I know that. I know that sound. That means we're getting into the game. Here we are. Dylan, thumbs up. Good luck.
See, everything's back. He's using the old emotes.
He's so about the old stuff. He doesn't use anything new. New meta, new emotes, none of that. He's just gonna stick with the old.
Minions. That's an old one.
That's very old. And everything about Dylan is just old. He's just an old man. That's what he is. Can we actually check up on how old he actually is?
Cards, that's actually pretty new.
Hey!
Not too new anymore, but
For his standard, that's
against
actually
the
very
new card, Hunter.
You know, to be fair,
Actually misses the fireball onto the ice golem. Okay, and the Hogs coming in.
Royal Hogs coming in. This is bad news.
Not a bad zap to delay, but he has the right Mega Minion in place, so.
And the skeleton.
Skeleton's
the
landing
skeletons.
hundreds of damage, so that's pretty good of a trade with one elixir.
But Dylan, he used a lot of elixir on that one, and we will see if Zeros can do something about this. And just a Royal Ghost. Is that all you're going to send out? And take a single swipe from it. Okay, we're going to go to it once again, and the guard's doing a pretty good job this time around. You know, the damage, and Ice Golem sent out just for defense.
Here's the lava. Is this the same one again? Well, when the Royal Hogs are being dropped, so this tower.
Oh, the minions! What?
This tower is basically gone.
Why do you
with
say?
that fireball?
Did you not?
That's a tough one to defend against. Lava Hound. What can he pair up with? Hunter. Very good card to do burst damage. Get the same deck that we played before.
Word.
He wants to have the Royal Giant do direct damage with the pubs. It's connecting a few.
Okay.
Okay, third one.
Can you convince me, Dylan, that this
Four.
deck actually works?
Fifth. Sixth.
Oh,
Okay, that's
okay.
really close. That's in Fireball with a little bit more than 2 zaps, I believe.
But Zeros is ahead, 3 elixirs right now, so we will see how this affects the play. He has a Fireball this time around, so we will use it against the Royal Hogs. Much better this time around.
He's got the cycle now, Joel, and he's making it work, but against the 3 Musketeer, that's a tough one. And he just dropped the Lava Hound. That's going to be deleted before, a little bit after getting into the tower.
Yeah, and the Fireball. It's already been used on the Royal Hogs and has nothing for these 3 Muskies. And we only get the tower down. It barely does, so this is important right here. The Fireball probably came back to the rotation pretty soon, but it's going to opt for the Tombstone and the Law combination. We will see how these Musketeers are going to be taken care of.
I don't think he should be worried about that. He has all-in attack onto the right with that Royal Giant. I think it should be coming very soon, as Zeros, he does not have a structure to go against it.
Okay. Look at the Ice Golem does a pretty good job, and the Royal Giant in the pocket.
He doesn't really care about the Royal Ghost. He wants to go in perfectly, but the defensive Royal
Very
Ghost
nice.
plus Hunter. Pretty nice defensive tools there.
10:33 down to 14:91, and we're gonna get this Royal Hogs to charge in all the way through, and Will does so, and gonna get a couple of damage, a couple of bites into that tower, and it's gonna get it down to 9:15, and the Hunter
just out of range and where it can actually do damage to the tower.
Good
That was
value.
lucky.
Now you're right there, and we'll see this Ice Golem running it, and what? Royal
The
Giant.
defensive Royal Giant, because he didn't really have the perfect tool to defend against it,
Oh,
he has
no.
to wait for that Tombstone to against the Royal Hog, so that's what he just had to use
Okay.
at the moment. He knows that Hogs are coming, yes. So that was actually not a bad choice, but he can't really make his own offense in this case. That fire, was that a fire?
That was a Fireball by Dylan. It got the Hogs out, but now super behind in elixirs. What are you gonna do?
We'll see setup. He can have a pocket play once again.
He has to. The Royal Giant is not coming through for now, and this Tombstone is ready. Log will help this outplay, but
A nice fireball onto Hunter as well. But he's taking minor scratches as he scratches the back of his head, saying this game is not really going for myself right now.
no, it's not going well for him at all, and we are gonna get Dylan. What is gonna send out? No Tombstone, no Tombstone. That was a late Tombstone, and I don't know if I'm gonna be good with that
Great
one.
fireball. That may just be game from Zeros.
That's it, 68 down to 9. The log does a lot more than 9 damage, and that is going to secure another win for Zeros. And being that 4th player in the roster today for GameWith, that proves his worth. Like, he should have been starting all along. Anything for Dylan? You have anything to say?
I can't ask a question anymore, so I will just sum up that
What are we going to ask?
it's 1v1. It is not the meta with the Royal Giant anymore. First few days after the patch, yes, we have seen it.
Yeah.
Especially in the ladder, some grand challenges. It has been working okay for the first few days only. That was already a week ago.
I kind of want to say that the Royal Giant is still meta, but not with
No.
the Lava Hound.
Meta requires a lot more game play. It's percentage participation in all decks.
But Lava Hound with Royal Giant, I just don't think it works.
So we're gonna have the final player from Kicks, The Rock. He did not play too
Yeah.
many.
Yeah, he played none. He played no 1v1s, no King of the Hill.
Only
It's-
2-2.
It's his first 1v1 match of the season.
He did play a lot. He did have a lot of 2v2s back in Season 1, along with Dylan. But ever since the new duo came in with Dio Stitch Martin, he
They're
didn't really get
fantastic.
too many chances to play on stage.
The Rock, is he rusty? I mean, he hasn't played a single game of 1v1. Back to the lobby music. I like hearing that lobby music right before the game starts. That's
Peaceful.
It is.
Peaceful.
It's a great soundtrack that they put out from Supercell on that one, but we're all gonna be looking at the Rock. Can he still play the 1v1s against a very good player when you don't have Zeros?
Well, he's The Rock. And, ooh, never mind. He actually plays a lot of Golem. But in this case, he has switched off. But we have the ban on Magic Archer, so you'll see a different one. Maybe just the Princess to pair.
Could be just a control deck. It's been featured all. And the Spy Machine is part of that control deck that I'm aware of.
That will goes
Sparky.
actually damaged.
Spark. For Zeros?
100% win rate so far.
No,
Since the
no,
time.
lost one game.
Okay, just last weekend, right?
Korea.
Yes.
Korea ruins all the win rates, by the way. But that's a different question for...
Can he bring it up a little higher? Bats, pretty good against Sparky, but Spears.
This is the deck. This is the Kent Sumeshi deck.
Uh-huh. We have seen this happening. The cannon card is a defensive move. Just in time before the tower. Yes.
Very nicely done.
Okay. Time yeah, it's right now the game's cleansing our eyes from the last game.
It is. The Rock is actually pretty good.
Yeah, the barrel. Nicely and Zeros, he's holding 2 spells. I guess he doesn't have a log. It must
Okay.
be something like the Zap and Poison. Or even a Fireball you don't want to overspend. Sometimes when you're desperate, you just have to throw down the Fireball. But he took a lot of damage because of it.
Would have thought that he would at least have the bar barrel, but neither that nor the log. So Sparky will do well against the bar pods, but
Bye guys with the swords.
it's a big buy. Yeah, that's every time that the zap goes off, it hurts.
Welcome to modern technology with sparks.
Well, I mean, look at this. The Rock is going to be looking towards a Goblin Giant. The Fireball will take care of the Flying Machine, and we'll get the stab
Ooh,
now.
nice zap. Actually, Sparky survives. Locks onto the tower and boom!
588. And another Sparky.
Sparky's all the way. The barrel will continuously to get damage. Even the bats actually taking it out nicely, not bad. But still about 500 done. More than that now, 700 down.
The Fireball and the Zap is going to be what he has. Zeros and no log. Just take advantage of that as much as he can. The Rock, and he's not going to have a quicker cycle because it's very, very heavy cards that he's
Zeros
playing with.
actually changing up cycle. Now he drops the Sparky after the Royal goes. He actually wants to change it up a little bit here.
Oh, does he have anything for this? The Fireball is there. He's going to go for the Mega Minion.
Sparky actually takes a few hits from the goblins.
Okay, fine, but 547. For this one little push.
That HUD is gone, the value.
It. I think that's it.
One more hit onto the cannon, and actually, Spear,
Zap. That's
one more. A Zap will finish the game,
Zap or Fireball, anything you have.
or the Mega Minion.
Yeah, that works.
And that's a 3-0 clean sweep from Zeros, which actually no one would have expected that to happen. Kicks,
Oh,
they
man.
go
Oh,
down,
no.
down from the standings now.
2v2, DioStitch and Martin hand gifted their teammates a 2-0 victory for that set 1, but oh no, Dylan lost set
That was
2.
I would say that was a
Ugly.
mud-faced, ugly
That was an
monstrous.
Ooh, that's a tough one to take if
Stuff.
you're Kicks. Yeah, I mean, if you're Kicks and you were feeling pretty good after that set 1 win, and DioStitch and Martin is like to his rest of the team and say, here you go, you know, we got you basically half to win. Just make sure you don't screw up for every little thing at the end, and they screwed up for every little thing at the end.
I lost my words, Joe.
I
and
mean-
I tried to be very positive.
I know, I know. Positive, optimistic is fine.
When you poke onto all the players, I try to soften that a little bit all the time. But this one,
It's one.
I have no guards. I have no
how you gonna-
shields.
What good are you to tell them about Kicks?
I'm not the royal guards here.
In terms, Royal Guards aren't very good. The Royal Recruits is what you're referring to. They're still 8 elixir. They're really bad.
Royal flying elite guards.
You don't fly? What are you talking about?
That's what I am.
Quit telling
10
lies,
elixirs.
dude.
I'm quite heavy as well, so
Oh,
I don't
hey,
get knocked
okay,
back.
heavy. There's a lot of different meanings for heavy. But, oh my goodness, this has gone way above this discussion. But Kicks, I would have to say the only thing they did right was to play DioStitch and Martin for that 2v2. I would have brought Lampo out as at least the 4th player.
Oh, he's not here today, so I don't know what exactly is the deal.
Sure.
Usually Lampo would be out. I think it has to be some kind of physical conditioning
Maybe,
or something.
yeah.
Maybe he's just sick for the day.
Could be.
I think that is the reason, because the performance what we saw from Kicks today in that 1v1.
Yeah.
Oh man, certainly at
It-
the bottom level of Clash Royale League Asia.
I think that was the worst 1v1 performance we've seen out of all the 12 teams of Clash Royale League Asia. We think maybe Southeast Asia might have been the best region in all of this competition, but Kicks, I mean, they have the pieces right together. They have the wonderful 2v2 duo. I mean, DioStitch and Martin looking like one of the best duos we have in this entire league, but the 1v1 looked good, especially with Lampo when he was playing well, but all of a sudden, I really have not much to say for this.
Well, we have 1 win for Japan.
Well, that's good.
That's
That's
what it
good.
is.
That's good.
That's what it is.
At least we
Okay.
know that Japan is
Positive.
positive. We gotta implant it in our heads because gotta be optimistic about something. Because KK, it's been fantastic. Zeros has been fantastic as well. I mean, oh man, we got to see good flair from GameWith, and with all the other teams losing out, FOF Gaming losing out, Detonation losing out, GameWith winning out probably should maybe get them very close to 2nd place now.
This is actually a good confidence booster for Zeros, because he has been choking a lot, especially in the late game situations. But we're gonna jump into that
对，
interview.
那
Yosoro.
这边就想问一下，先问一下GameWith好了，就你们最近的这个获胜的姿势啊，不论是像敬礼的或是其他的姿势，是谁想出来的呢？
最近よく勝つゲームを勝ちた時にこうなんかポーズを決めポーズがあるようで、どんな風に決めていますか？なんかテーマがありますか？
自分たちはファーストシーズンからずっとヨーソロって言ってこの敬礼のポーズを決めポーズにしてるんで、ずっとそれをやってきてます。
从之前就是一直有一个敬礼的姿势，然后觉得非常的喜欢，所以一直都沿用下去。
好
We
的，
just
那
like
现在想问一下第二个问题
saluting
喽，在第二个问题的话，就想问
ceremony,
一下
so we
你
just
们这一
decided
次
to
的
keep
获
using
胜
it.
帮助你们跟 Faith Gaming 的胜场，就是胜场的部分是追平了。那对于这次的胜利有什么样的感想吗？
今回のファフ
So,
さんと
how do you feel about the
状況
win?
引き分けになっている状況になっておりまして、で何かこうこれについて何か感想とかあれば聞かせてください。
今回でファブゲーミングに追いついた形になったので、でもこのまま残りも全勝してって直接対決勝ってなんとか日本の上位に食い込んでいけたらなと思ってます。
现在这次呢有追上 FAF 觉得很开心，然后呢接下来要保持这样子的实力，可以一直
So we're
累积
really
到日
happy
本
that
的
we
很
caught up
前
with
面的
FOF
名次
Gaming,
是
and
目
we
前的目
want to
标。
keep
对，那我
continue
现在再问一
to
个题目
practice
是，
and
在
get
这一
better
次的
results.
赛季呢，目前的状况像是比较没有到那么的稳定。那你们觉得在日本赛区现在有没有哪一个队伍是让你们觉得压力最大的呢？
次の質問です。
So until
今
now,
ま
your
での試合
result
は
is
結構
not
いろいろ
that
いろい
good.
ろハプ
Which
ニング
team
と
do you
かも
think
あ
is
った
the
りして、
strongest
で
among Japanese teams?
今は一番気になっているチームが日本のチームがございましたら教えてください。
気になってるのはやっぱり今1位を走ってるポノススポーツで今2勝差が開いてる状態なので、まあ、日本で首位に立つにはもうここからは一戦も落とせない状態なので、まあ、ポノススポーツを常に意識しながら練習とかは頑張ってやっております。
现在最在意的是 Honor Sports 这个队伍，然后呢，因为就是非常的紧张，就是要追得很紧，所以接下来会继续的努力朝，就是可以打赢他们的为目标。
포노스 스포츠가 지금 가장
긴장되는
팀이라고 말할 수 있겠고요. 따라잡기 위해 정말 열심히 준비할 예정입니다.
对决跟2v2的对决，我觉得选手是很灵活的，都可以上阵。那你们的教练团是有以这个为目标的吗？是有特
So
别
yeah, we'll try really hard to catch up with Ponos, and
的
yeah, Ponos
最
is
後
a
の
team
質問です。選手を決めるとき結構柔軟に分配しているように見えますが、どんな風にそんな風に決めてチームワークをしていますか？
まあ大体はみんなで話し合って、まあここ行きたい人いればっていった風に、まあ立候補であったり行きたい人っていう風にまあ。特に決まった決め方があるわけじゃないんですけど、まあその場の流れで行きたいその人いいんじゃないとかそういう感じで柔軟に決めてます。
我们主要不会是要说一定要指定谁，大部分都是说这个场次我们有谁想要报名，谁最想要上场，然后以这样子的气氛来决定选手说最想参加的选手。
So it's really hard to tell how we make up the active roster. It's just up to the coach. Yeah.
Well, that was it. And for
Up to the coach.
Well, yeah, that was good, but I mean, looking at Kicks going up a big game with him, we thought that Japan would maybe end in a 0-3 deficit for the day's events, but GameWith does show us they still have beliefs in terms of Japan going up against Southeast Asia. It's not going to be a one-side fight.
Yeah, for sure. And we're about to see the result. Kicks. I think we're about to see some roster apocalypse for that team going into Season 3.
You talk about positivity. We're back with the slasher ending.
Hey, let's
just share the pain. We're sharing the pain right now.
Go with the other side.
I'm gonna go with the other side and bring some positive. I'm gonna play the good cop and the bad cop, and we're gonna have Kicks. Maybe bring Lampo back. I think at least, even if he's sick, maybe a sick Lampo would do better than what we saw from the 1v1s today.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Let's see if he's back. But this is updated standings. Of course, Korea no matches today. But we're gonna have a lot of sevens now up there.
Oh, so GameWith still doesn't get second place through all that. It seems like they have the plus in the set score. They have the plus in the game
but
score.
It's the head-to-head first
Right.
between Five Gaming GameWith,
Yeah.
and that's why Five Gaming is on top.
Winning out against your opponents is very, very important, it seems. And it means that GameWith, no matter how far they are in terms of sets of games, because they lost to Five Gaming in the previous rounds, this is the reason why GameWith will still be behind at third place. And if this continues, this will mean they will not make it to playoffs.
But I believe they faced against them once again in the last 2 weeks. So that's going to matter a lot. So it comes down to the final division. If you can get up to that first place or not.
And it's going to be less about Five Gaming tomorrow, but more about GameWith and Detonation Gaming back again, but with Ponos being back again as well. HQ playing twice tomorrow, playing against Ponos and GameWith tomorrow.
And Kicks in the middle.
Yeah, HQ is
Will
going to
Lampo be recovered? I don't know if he's sick. It's not official, but we're just guessing because he's not here, apparent on the stage. Will he be back tomorrow? That's the real question.
I mean, yeah.
That's going to be the most worrying thing about tomorrow's matchup.
It's like, this is the sandwich where the bread is looking a lot better than the meat.
The rice and the kimchi. We need both. HQ Esports Club, Motorsport, the first place. That's a hype match, of course.
Yeah, very much. Top team from HQ going against the top team in the league. With Pono Sports clearly looking like they are the best in all of CRO Asia. And gonna see them go up against GameWith as well, so looking like maybe a second-tier team back again in the Japanese scene, and we will see if HK can really come back to the challenges they will have tomorrow for 2 of the games tomorrow.
Yeah, that's actually really hard to have a first match, and then, of course, they have a small break in the middle, but having another match takes a lot of focus. When you have the same roster, when you have the same entry for the day, maybe they just want to change it up a little bit because they may be losing focus when they go again and they could take a break. Sometimes it's better to just have a straight games and be focused. When you have a break, you kind of loosen up, and then it's hard to It's kind of hard to get back into the zone. So let's see how that affects the HQ tomorrow.
Well, and for Kicks, I mean, they will face against the weakest Japanese team we have
Yes.
here in the tournament against Detonation Gaming. So if Kicks shows up a play like this for tomorrow's games, there is a problem. I think you talked about a roster overhaul with the Apocalypse. Maybe is indeed in line. So we will see if Kicks makes some crucial adjustment that will be needed by tomorrow's games.
Oh, we'll see. As you'll be the one that
Well, you
gets
won't
to
be here.
watch live and everything cast over. That will be exciting one. First place versus first place. But so far, Japan, that was just because of a third game, I think, which didn't really quite tell the power of Japanese team as a whole. But Ponos is coming up tomorrow. I think that's going to be the important one.
Well, that's going to be it for us, for G-Clef and I, to bring you today's Clash Royale League action. We're going to be back tomorrow with Simon and I, so none of the good cop, bad cop situation is going to be all negatives all day long. We're going to love it, so we'll be back for more Clash Royale League action. We'll see you tomorrow.